Kathy is in Orlando to start off this segment. Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I was hoping you could help give me some sound financial advice during difficult marital times. Do you have is it any different than regular marital times? Like if you're having difficulties, like say your husband has a girlfriend?
Yeah, that'd be pretty difficult. So is this marriage going to end?
It depends on him.
Really? You're pretty forgiving.
I'm really struggling. Well, he says they're just friends.
Yeah, when did you discover this?
Actually, he told me about it. He's like, I'm just going, the first encounter or visit with the ex-girlfriend, it's actually his ex-girlfriend from 25 years ago. He reconnected with her.
Facebook.
And no, not even. No, just, I don't know if he's going through a midlife crisis. I don't know what's going on.
You need to see a counselor, darling. Your brain's jumbled up.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess.
Yeah, mine would be.
We're just friends.
Mine would be. Oh, no. There's a murder getting ready to be committed here.
Well, yeah.
You've got to. Yeah. You need to get some guidance because you're trying to be sweet and you're trying to believe it, and yet your brain in your heart, but your brain is telling you this guy's cheating on you.
Yeah.
That's
I don't think
bottom line.
Sleepovers are a cool thing. I've said this, and he continued again just this month.
Okay.
He said, nothing's happening.
Oh, yeah. Darling, you are sweet. You're so naive. Okay. No, adults don't do sleepovers with people they're not married to of the opposite sex, okay? That is not normal. That's whacked! That's whacked!
That's what I said.
Okay.
That's exactly what I said.
You need to go see a counselor, and you need to go see a divorce attorney, and then you need to decide which one you're going to use. But Bubba game is up with Bubba here. He's played that So, darling, the way you prepare financially, and I'm so sorry you're going through this, is hold on, I'm going to talk to you when I come back. This is the Dave Ramsey Show, talking with Kathy in Orlando, and I had to get up off the floor to give her a proper answer. Her husband has reconnected with his old girlfriend from 26 years ago. He's doing sleepovers with the old girlfriend, says nothing's going on, and she's trying to figure out how to prepare in a bad marriage situation financially. Is that a fair summary of what you told me, darling?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been married?
18 years.
I'm sorry. Okay. Well, let me just from an outside perspective tell you what the 12 million people listening to me right now are all thinking, okay? Normal people that are married do not have sleepovers with the opposite sex ever in any circumstances that they are not married to. Okay? That's just not acceptable social behavior. It's nuts.
I've even said that. I was like, this isn't right.
I know. This is nuts. And the fact that he would try to play it off on that says that he has a level of BS in his life that is unbelievable. Okay? So he's off the ranch, kiddo, is what I'm saying. And I'm trying to be kind to you because you're hurting and you're sad, and I don't blame you. But you need to have the thing that's rising up inside of your throat validated, because you have to have that unless you have absolutely no self-esteem at all. You have to be going, this is nuts. So you need somebody outside to say, this is nuts. This is nuts. I just said it, okay? I want you to hear that really loud and clear. If I suggested to Sharon Ramsey that I was going to sleep over with someone of the opposite sex, I would not have the equipment to do so by the time I left the house, okay? You follow me? That's how that works in the normal world, all right? And so it just, unbelievable. So are you in a church at all?
No, I'm not.
All right. Do you have access to someone that can recommend to you a good, solid marriage counselor that can walk you through the tough decisions and conversations that you're about to have? You need to get someone to get someone in your corner that way, okay?
I have a call out. He has refused to go with me, so I have a call right now.
Of course, because he thinks
he doesn't want to be ganged up on.
Yeah, he's got this thing. Yeah, he doesn't want. Yeah. Well, let me just tell you, 12 million people just ganged up on him. All right, they're all listening to me. They're all going, he's nuts. All right, he just got ganged up on too late, and he deserves it because he's completely out of line. Listen, if you want to divorce your wife and then go sleep around, we can discuss that. I don't like that. That's a bad idea. But this is this con this guy's trying to run on you is just, it's ludicrous. It really says he thinks you're stupid. is really what it is. I mean, anybody that would believe this is stupid, and he thinks that about you. So you need to get a good counselor. Then the second thing you've got to get today, you've got to get with a counselor, and you've got to get with a good divorce attorney. I'm not saying you 100% are going to go through a divorce. That'll be your decision, but you need to have the information to know what it looks like, because information in the middle of high-stress scenarios, which you're in, helps you have power to make good decisions.
It's ugly, Dave. I've called a lawyer, and in the state I live in, it's 50-50 no matter what.
Yeah.
Adultery doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
So
That's right.
all the hard work, I'm the one who does the budget. I'm the one who's done all the planning.
Yep. He gets that's the way it is in most states now. Okay. And so that part's ugly, but it's uglier to stay in an untenable situation. And I'm not suggesting it's over, but it probably is, statistically speaking. I mean, if you turn this around, you've beat the odds, so to speak, right? So you go get some counselors to guide you through it. Now, what the attorney has taught you then is this. I've got a friend that does divorce recovery work all the time, and she has a wonderful saying. It's not a wonderful saying. It's an accurate saying. Divorce turns a marriage into a business transaction. And so it's now down to who gets what and when, and access to kids or whatever. You got children?
No kids.
Okay, that part's a little cleaner. But it's just a matter of divvying up the stuff, and it becomes a business negotiation that is laced in anger and broken hearts and visceral emotions. But it's still a business negotiation at the end of the day. And so here's the interesting thing, and I will throw this in. If this is the track he decides to go on, and if it ends your marriage, he's going to want out quickly, and if I were negotiating on your side, I would make that cost him. He's going to give up some stuff in order for you to make this quick. I would drag it out and make it painful for a while, just because I'm that kind of guy. So, I mean, I'm serious, because it sounds like the way you described that a minute ago, there's some assets involved that are pretty serious.
Well, not like we don't have any debt, which is a huge thing.
That's good.
And our house is paid off.
That's good.
And we're both putting 20%
in other words, the court says you get 50%, but you can negotiate more than that in a settlement in Florida.
But the divorce lawyer, I need to find a better lawyer, because she was really cruel about it, and like, you'll just go, because I put him through school, and of course, or the last part of it anyway, the last year.
Yeah, what you want when you've got a divorce lawyer is you want someone that's kind of mean that you don't even really like them. Because this is a war.
I want them to be nicer to me, yeah.
It's a war. It's a war. We're going to war. If you go that way, and I kind of think you're going to. I'm not telling you that's what you have to do, but I am telling you nobody is believing this BS line of his, okay? And so you need to get with a counselor that keeps you in between the ditches and reminds you that you are sane and he is not with this portion of the discussion. And then you need an attorney over here that's giving you advice on how to handle the money transactions and how to begin to negotiate the separation and when to throw him out and so on. And, all of that. But your counselor will lead you through a series of, if they're a strong counselor, a series of discussions that says, okay, we can continue to be married, but these are the rules if we're going to continue to be married. And if he doesn't want to go along with those rules, then we're not going to be married. And you have to set out some ultimatums for your sanity. Otherwise, you're the crazy one, and you're not.
Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm the one who's like, this is normal. I'm like, well,
no, this is not normal. This is not normal.
It's never happened in 17 years. I guess
it's not. It's just not normal. It doesn't matter how long it's been. It's just not normal. Normal people don't do this crap. Okay. I mean, there's all kinds of weird stuff out there that's perverted and all that, right. But I'm talking about normal people that are they just and either you're gonna call something crazy that's crazy, or you are crazy. There's really no in between. And so you have to kind of keep somebody in your corner while you're in these high-stress scenarios that give you information on the legal side and give you information on the emotional, psychological, and spiritual side to guide you through this so that you can stay so you make solid, good decisions that you don't regret later. That you weren't too harsh, but you were tough, and you weren't angry and bitter, but you allowed yourself to feel the emotions that are real. Okay.
Okay.
And you just gotta have somebody walk with you, honey, and that's the thing. And I'm so sorry you're going through this, but I just want to validate some of those things that you're thinking are absolutely true. The reason I brought up Facebook is there's this ridiculous statistic that something like 20 to 30% of divorces have a Facebook contact to an old flame involved. And so there's this tremendous thing, and she said this one wasn't, but there's this tremendous problem out there of people looking up the old flame. Oh, I wonder what she looks like now. Most of the time you look her up and you're going, whoo, I did good. Or you look him up and you went, oh, really, son? Back up from the table. This is what happens most of the time when you look up an old flame, right? Or they look me up and they go, oh, where'd all his hair go? So, but sometimes they reconnect. And we've had more than one set of friends lose their marriage to the reconnect to the old flame thing. And bad deal. No, I'm not calling Facebook the devil, but the devil lives there. Like he lives everywhere. So, what a sad situation. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. You can do this. You know, that really is a message. Whether you've got $270,000 in student loan debt or $27,000, whether you've got a $50,000 income or a $500,000 income. Brought to you by Xander Insurance. Identity theft protection isn't a luxury in today's world. It's a necessity. Get yours at Xander.com.
Well, this weekend I received some devastating news that my husband was scammed out of almost his entire 401k.
Ooh.
And so now it's tax time. And we're going to have to pay taxes on it. So we have no more retirement, and our savings is going to be wiped out. And I don't know where to begin from here.
How did he get scammed? What did he put it in?
It was a crypto.
Crypto.
It was yes.
How much?
And $270,000.
$270,000.
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
And there's a little bit of a backstory. I'm not making excuses for him, but there's a little bit of a backstory as to why he felt financially strapped, that he felt he needed to do this to secure our financial future.
How old are you?
I'm 57. He's 58. We have no debt. We paid off our home in February of 2022.
What's your household income? These days, it's not if your identity gets stolen, it's when. So you need ID theft protection from Xander. They monitor your personal info proactively and alert you of any suspicious activity, including home title fraud. Then Xander takes care of everything, including up to $2 million of stolen funds protection and white glove service to help you get your life back. Plus, kids are covered for free on their family plan. Call 800-356-4282 or go to Xander.com. What's your household income?
Right now he makes approximately $98,000 annually, and I'm currently not working. I had to quit my job in January of 2023 because I was diagnosed with cancer, and the medication that I'm on just causes me a lot of side effects that we chose it's better for me to stay home because we could afford it. Obviously, we have no debt again, and he was, I think he was looking into securing a future so that he may be able to retire early. He started doing some research as to how to invest money. He knows nothing about. He's not educated in that. So
yeah, your voice is fairly muffled. Speak directly into your phone, please.
Okay.
There you go.
He's not okay. He's not.
No, he's obviously, even if he is educated, he's not wise.
Mm-hmm. And he got desperate. No. It sounded like
he did, and
right after I get desperate, I usually get stupid.
That's what it was, and so that happened in January 2024. In about March or April, he came up to me and told me that that he invested a little bit of money, and I was like, okay. And he says, and he showed me that he showed me the app, and he showed me that the money was, I mean, we had made about $300,000 or $400,000, and I said, okay, well, how much did you invest? And he told me. At that time, he said $30,000. I said, where did you get the money from? Because I take care of all the banking. And he said that he pulled it out of the 401k. And I said, okay, dumb mistake. You know, we'll get through this. I found a temporary job. I made enough money to cover the taxes. I calculated we probably owe about $6,000 taxes. I said, okay, great. Well, I'll take care of it, and I'll get a permanent job so it won't affect our savings. And now that it's tax time, I kept looking for the form that comes in, the 1099-R, I believe, and he kept making excuses as to why we hadn't received it. So I kind of had a feeling that it was worse than what I knew, and that it was worse than what he had told me. And this weekend, he gave me the paper, and it was $270,000. So now we will have to. And
now it's worth zero, of course.
Yes. Well, I looked at it last night, and there is about $16,000 in it right now. But
was it really a scam, or did he just lose? Like, did he get scammed by a scammer, or he invested the money and he lost the investment?
No, it wasn't an actual scammer. I had demanded that I back when he told me it was $30,000, I demanded to know where he sent it, how he sent it. I wanted to know everything, and apparently it was a company in Hong Kong. And I looked up the address, and it's in the slums of Hong Kong. I'm like, why didn't you do the research before? Well, the thing is now, he said that it was the 200. I'm like, how can you go from 30,000 to 270,000? And he said it was about the same time. He invested here, in a couple of different.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Does he now own that this is stupid, or is he still defending?
No, he owns it. He's been living with this for the past year, and he
was lying about it 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, you said he just came clean with it.
Yeah, he just came clean with it, but he was living with that lie for the. But
I mean, he's now saying out loud, "I completely screwed this up."
Yes, he has.
That's important because otherwise he's going to do it again.
Right. And he's like, I'm prepared to work till I'm 70. I mean,
yeah, he might as well.
Good job right now, and
there's not a choice at this point.
Belly up, buddy.
How's your health? Are you improving?
It's getting there. I'm on a clinical trial.
Okay.
And so I'm hoping that this will be something that will, give me more time, and I feel pretty good, except. Just the usual side effects. I mean, not the usual, but the side effects of the medication. But thank you. I'm happy to, every day is a good day. Okay. And I'm not going to let this bring me down, but it does scare me for our future.
Now, the good news is you have no payments. And so what he needs to do is max out his 401k, and you'll need to max out your Roth IRAs. And you need to tell him that if he makes any transactions without the two of you being in agreement ever again, that will be the last time he'll do so as your husband.
Absolutely.
He needs to understand that this has extreme consequences. Because he not only did something stupid, he lied about it at length, deceived, created a web, a full scenario of lies. That concerns me actually more than his stupidity.
Correct.
And so, that's a big deal. So, yeah, you guys can catch up. I mean, you can make 100, 120, and you can max out your 401ks and Roths, max out your Roths and work another 10 years, 12 years, and you will have enough of a nest egg to retire on if you don't do this again. But as soon as he gets desperate and tries to pull off a fast one, that's when you get messed over. And so, ouch, I'm so sorry,
It's
honey,
tough.
with everything you're facing. It's just not fair. Wow. All right, guys, let me give you a couple principles on that. There's a guy who scammed a bunch of people and wrote a book from jail in the 70s. The book he wrote about himself was Con Man or Saint. Obviously, he thought he was a saint, but he was in jail, so he was a con man. Okay, but I read that book in the early 80s and as a teenager, early 20s. And the only thing I really got out of the book was he said it's almost impossible to con someone unless they are afraid or greedy. This guy was afraid. His wife had cancer. He's trying to get a bunch of money so that he can not have to work and take care of her.
Yeah.
And he got desperate based on fear, and he said that set him up in the emotional category to be conned. The other crypto people that get conned are the greedy ones. They're trying to make double your money in 20 minutes because I'm the cool kid and I'm the smart one, and I grew up with a cell phone in my hand, a smartphone in my hand, so I know everything about digital. No, you don't. You're a greedy fool, and you're going to lose your butt in crypto also. The second thing you can do is, who can find a virtuous wife, for her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, and he will have no lack of gain. If you have to hide the investment or the financial move from your spouse, warning,
Red
warning,
flag.
you're screwing up. I have no lack of gain because Sharon and I talk about it before we do it, and it keeps me on the rails. The best ID theft protection is from Xander. They not only monitor, they help you get your life back. Go to Xander.com to learn more. Brought to you by Xander Insurance. Identity theft protection isn't a luxury in today's world. It's a necessity. Get yours at Xander.com.
Well, this weekend I received some devastating news that my husband was scammed out of almost his entire 401k.
Ooh.
And so now it's tax time. And we're going to have to pay taxes on it. So we have no more retirement, and our savings is going to be wiped out. And I don't know where to begin from here.
How did he get scammed? What did he put it in?
It was a crypto.
Crypto.
It was yes.
How much?
And $270,000.
$270,000.
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
And there's a little bit of a backstory. I'm not making excuses for him, but there's a little bit of a backstory as to why he felt financially strapped, that he felt he needed to do this to secure our financial future.
How old are you?
I'm 57. He's 58. We have no debt. We paid off our home in February of 2022.
What's your household income? These days, it's not if your identity gets stolen, it's when. So you need ID theft protection from Xander. They monitor your personal info proactively and alert you of any suspicious activity, including home title fraud. Then Xander takes care of everything, including up to $2 million of stolen funds protection and white glove service to help you get your life back. Plus, kids are covered for free on their family plan. Call 800-356-4282 or go to Xander.com. What's your household income?
Right now, he makes approximately $98,000 annually, and I'm currently not working. I had to quit my job in January of 2023 because I was diagnosed with cancer, and the medication that I'm on just causes me a lot of side effects that we chose it's better for me to stay home because we could afford it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we have no debt again, and I think he was looking into securing our future so that he may be able to retire early. He started doing some research as to how to invest money. He knows nothing about it. He's not educated in that. So
yeah, your voice is fairly muffled. Speak directly into your phone, please.
Okay.
There you go.
He's not okay. He's not.
No, he's obviously, even if he is educated, he's not wise.
Mm-hmm. And he got desperate. No. It sounded like
he did, and
right after I get desperate, I usually get stupid.
That's what it was, and so that happened in January 2024. In about March or April, he came up to me and told me that he invested a little bit of money, and I was like, okay. And he says, and he showed me that he showed me the app, and he showed me that the money was, we had made about $300,000 or $400,000. And I said, okay, well, how much did you invest? And he told me, at that time, he said $30,000. I said, where did you get the money from? Because I take care of all the banking. And he said that he pulled it out of the 401k. And I said, okay, dumb mistake. We'll get through this. I found a temporary job. I made enough money to cover the taxes. I calculated we probably owe about $6,000 taxes. I said, okay, great. Well, I'll take care of it, and I'll get a permanent job so it won't affect our savings. And now that it's tax time, I kept looking for the form that comes in, the 1099-R, I believe, and he kept making excuses as to why we hadn't received it. So I kind of had a feeling that it was worse than what I knew, and that it was worse than what he had told me. And this weekend, he gave me the paper, and it was $270,000. So now we will have to. And
now it's worth zero, of course.
Yes. Well, I looked at it last night, and there was about $16,000 in it right now. But
was it really a scam, or did he just lose? Like, did he get scammed by a scammer, or he invested the money and he lost the investment?
No, it wasn't an actual scammer. I had demanded that I back when he told me it was $30,000, I demanded to know where he sent it, how he sent it. I wanted to know everything, and apparently it was a company in Hong Kong. And I looked up the address, and it's in the slums of Hong Kong. I'm like, why didn't you do the research before? Well, the thing is now, he said that it was the 200. I'm like, how can you go from 30,000 to 270,000? And he said it was about the same time. He invested here, in a couple of different.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Does he now own that this is stupid, or is he still defending?
No, he owns it. He's been living with this for the past year, and
he was lying about it 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, you said he just came clean with it.
Yeah, he just came clean with it, but he was living with that lie for the. But
he's now saying out loud, "I completely screwed this up."
Yes, he has.
That's important because otherwise he's going to do it again.
Right, and he's like, I'm prepared to work till I'm 70.
He might as well.
Good job right now, and
there's not a choice at this point.
Belly up, buddy.
How's your health? Are you improving?
It's getting there. I'm on a clinical trial.
Okay.
And so I'm hoping that this will be something that will, give me more time, and I feel pretty good, except just the usual side effects. Not the usual, but the side effects of the medication. But thank you. I'm happy to, every day is a good day, and I'm not going to let this bring me down. But it does scare me for our future.
Well, the good news is you have no payments, and so what he needs to do is max out his 401k, and you'll need to max out your Roth IRAs, and you need to tell him that if he makes any transactions without the two of you being in agreement ever again, that will be the last time he'll do so as your husband.
Absolutely.
He needs to understand that this has extreme consequences. Because he not only did something stupid, he lied about it at length, deceived, created a web, a full scenario of lies. That concerns me actually more than his stupidity.
Correct.
And so, that's a big deal. So, yeah, you guys can catch up. I mean, you can make 100, 120, and you can max out your 401ks and Roths, max out your Roths and work another 10 years, 12 years, and you will have enough of a nest egg to retire on if you don't do this again. But as soon as he gets desperate and tries to pull off a fast one, that's when you get messed over. And so, ouch, I'm so sorry, honey, tough. With everything you're facing. It's just not fair. Wow. All right, guys, let me give you a couple principles on that. There's a guy who scammed a bunch of people and wrote a book from jail in the 70s. The book he wrote about himself was Con Man or Saint. Obviously, he thought he was a saint, but he was in jail, so he was a con man. Okay, but I read that book in the early 80s and as a teenager, early 20s. And the only thing I really got out of the book was he said it's almost impossible to con someone unless they are afraid or greedy. This guy was afraid. His wife had cancer. He's trying to get a bunch of money so that he can not have to work and take care of her.
Yeah.
And he got desperate based on fear, and he said that set him up in the emotional category to be conned. The other crypto people that get conned are the greedy ones. They're trying to make double your money in 20 minutes because I'm the cool kid and I'm the smart one, and I grew up with a cell phone in my hand, a smartphone in my hand, so I know everything about digital. No, you don't. You're a greedy fool, and you're going to lose your butt in crypto also. The second thing you can do is, who can find a virtuous wife, for her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, and he will have no lack of gain. If you have to hide the investment or the financial move from your spouse, warning,
Red
warning,
flag.
You're screwing up. I have no lack of gain because Sharon and I talk about it before we do it, and it keeps me on the rails. The best ID theft protection is from Xander. They not only monitor, they help you get your life back. Go to Xander.com to learn more. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Megan kicks us off in Kansas City. Megan, welcome to the show. Megan, are you with us? Hey.
Yes.
There she is. What's going on?
So my husband spends on average about $1,000 a month at gas stations for snacks, drinks. A majority of that, though, is for chewing tobacco.
Oh.
And my question is, how can I help him work towards becoming more financially responsible so that we're not worrying how we're going to make it till the end of the month with bills and other priorities.
How long has this been going on for?
It's been going on for a few years. It has gotten worse, though, within the last year or so.
Is he using more chewing tobacco? What do you think the problem is there?
Definitely more chewing tobacco. He goes through maybe 2 to 3 cans a day. And that can be pretty pricey, and it hurts us financially, as you could probably imagine.
I assume you've had conversations with him about this. How do those go?
Yes, they don't go very well. It usually starts an argument. He has tried to quit multiple times through the last several years. We've done medical. We've spoken to doctors. He's been put on prescriptions. He's tried the patches, everything. He's tried quitting cold turkey, and just nothing has worked. And especially since we now have a family, I really thought that would help out in getting him to quit, but it hasn't.
So why did the patches not work? If it's giving him the same, unless the patches can't possibly give 3 cans a day is giving him.
Yeah. I think it all boils down to, deep down, he really doesn't want to quit.
No, he likes it.
Yeah, and I just can't really find anything that gives him that push to.
Do you know if
make that change.
Is it relaxing to him? What is the benefit? Is it a buzz that chills him out? What's going on?
Well, he does have ADD, so I think it just chills him out. But also, it's become such a habit, and I think it's just that buzz maybe.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder if there's not something else below the surface, because what doctors are trying to treat, they can't treat. Feels like this is something in his soul, in his heart. That's what I think. Mm-hmm. Is that true?
No, I agree with you.
What does he do for work?
I agree. He is an HVAC technician.
Yeah.
Does he like his job?
Oh, yes, very much so.
Yeah. This is deeper than this. This is deeper. So here's the deal. We got to get that part figured out, or any financial advice or any conversational or communication advice we give you is largely going to fall on deaf ears because he's defensive now. However, I do think there's a money piece to it, but I think it has to be whatever's going on that is requiring you to medicate yourself this way is going to break us. Mm-hmm. That's the depth of this. And so we've got to get to that, and then the financial piece will take care of itself because he doesn't have to medicate.
Mm-hmm, yes.
So in the meantime, since we can't solve that, George, I want to know what George thinks. I think this is so I'm going to come back to this in a second. I want to come back to the conversation of what she might say, but I want to bring in the financial. In this case, giving her advice, this is such a sensitive issue that's got a lot of depth to it. Could she get him on board with, all right, you got to go get a side hustle to the tune of $1,000 a month to cover this medication? I think that's a fair ask. What do you think, George?
Yeah, I mean, with addiction, it's not as simple as saying, hey, we're gonna cut him off.
Yeah.
And so I still think, I'm not a medical professional, I think cold turkey is the way to go, and I think it starts with this conversation of you going, listen, this is going to deteriorate your health. I want you around to see our kids grow up. I want us to actually hit our financial goals. It's derailing us financially for you to be spending this way. And by the way, gas stations are one of the worst places to buy all of this stuff. It's the highest cost. And so if he's going to do this, he's got to be smarter about it than just impulsively stopping by the gas station every 4 hours. And so he's got to find a way to curb the spending, even if it's, hey, we're cutting back. No more food, snacks, drinks, all of this stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the key. You have to say, babe, I'm worried about this.
And you're going to have to get more involved in the finances. Do you guys have combined bank accounts?
No, and because of that reason, yeah. And I know that's something I've struggled with. I've taken control somewhat of his bank account just so that I can monitor his spending. And every month it's the same thing when we sit down and have that talk. Like, hey, you're spending way too much. And it's just, Is
this on a credit card, a debit card?
Debit.
Okay. And so he's got the money, but it's his income, and he's just spending down his account every month doing this.
Yes, and we've even tried with having him send me like a certain percentage of his paychecks that I would then put into savings, or it would go towards bills for that month.
I think you need to tell him, listen, I didn't sign up to be married to a child that I have to monitor and babysit. You need to care about this family more than you care about your chewing tobacco habit. And I need you to show me that.
Conversation, yeah.
And if you guys need to go to counseling to deal with the marital issues beneath this, I think if you don't, it's going to cause more resentment, and this marriage isn't going to survive this.
George is right.
Because this is going to just compound every month for the next, another 3 years of this?
Well, you're not going to solve it. You can't solve it. He has to understand how afraid you are, how exhausted you are.
And how it's affecting you guys.
How it's affecting your marriage, and what that's going to have an impact on the rest of his life. And then he's going to have to get to the bottom of what's going on with him, which is causing the medication of the tobacco. And then you guys have to fix what's already been in some ways bruised and broken with you two. All of that has to happen, or this spending isn't going to stop.
Yeah, even if we go, hey, tell them to get it in bulk at Walmart. Well, that might be a Band-Aid. That might save us $200 a month, but it doesn't solve the real problem here.
No, I agree.
I'm sorry you're going through this, Megan. I wish
we
had a magic answer for you.
I think it's a come to Jesus meeting. I really do.
Yes, I agree.
And I know addiction is one of the most difficult things a person can deal with, and I encourage him to call Dr. John Deloney's show to walk through that piece of it. And if he's willing to call, if he's really serious about this, we can get him on the line with our friend Dr. John to help him work through that. But that's the only answer to this money problem, is him overcoming this addiction.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Lynn is with us in Canada. Hi, Lynn. How are you?
Good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I'm part of a blended family, and I've been married for 1 year, and been together for almost 3 years. My husband wants a paper divorce to get financial aid for his kids.
You've got to be kidding. You've got to be kidding me.
No.
That's absolutely absurd. No, I'm not divorcing my wife so I can get welfare.
Well, the thing is...
You're really going to argue with me about this, aren't you?
Well, I don't want the kids to be disadvantaged because of my assets, but...
They're not disadvantaged because of your assets. They're disadvantaged, but we're not going to give them welfare. Oh, well.
Like, I don't believe in out-of-state education. I believe, like, if it's a grad school, professional, like medical, dental law or something, yeah, maybe I'll fund that. I'll give them a loan, but...
No,
I just want
we're not going to get them. They don't need to be in debt. They don't need to be in debt to their stepmother either. This is also a bad plan. Yeah. So if you feel so inclined to pay for your stepchildren's education after 1 year of marriage, that would be a gift, and it would be unusual. Okay.
So what would that gift should be?
It'd be a gift if you did it.
I know.
I mean, if you give them $1, if you give them $100,000, it would be a gift. What is your asset base?
It's about 3.2.
Okay, and what is his? He's broke.
$200,000.
And he wants to do a paper divorce so his kids qualify for welfare education.
Well, he makes about $100,000.
He ought to be ashamed of himself. I mean, he makes like $200 a year.
No, he makes $100.
He's got $200. He makes $100 a year. What do you make?
Yeah, I make about $400, $350 Canadian.
And how many children are involved?
4.
And how old are they?
17, 15, 13, 11.
And
the 2 young ones are mine.
Okay. And did they think that he married a gravy train? Or are they ungrateful and entitled?
I don't know what they think.
Okay. Oh, so you've not had conversations with them?
I feel I would help them out as much as I would help my own, but I don't believe in out-of-state education.
Right.
I believe in...
Right. I agree.
Responsibilities.
My children went to in-state school, and all 3 of them are successful.
And so did I.
Yeah.
And, my parents helped out some, but it's not just a full...
So here's the deal. If you want to help, it is your money. You have the right to set the terms.
But I feel that because of my asset, they couldn't get their loan if that was what they...
I don't want them to get a loan.
If they want to commit financial suicide...
That's their problem.
Yes, but because of my assets, they can't. They won't qualify.
Oh, darn. So you being married to him is preventing them in Canada from getting a loan?
No, it's actually we just live across the border from each other, so we're just like 2 hours away.
Uh-huh.
And because of Canadian taxes, and because of the businesses I own, he was supposed to move up to Canada, but due to some medical problems of his daughter, he isn't. And so we really haven't even lived together as a married couple.
Yeah. Okay.
But on paper,
do you know how strange this is starting to sound?
It is, and it's been really hard.
Yeah. Be very careful, darling. You've not been married but a year. You've not even combined your households yet, and you're already up with your sweetheart for paying for these kids' education. I'm not.
Like, I'm fine contributing some.
Yeah, some, but very little.
And
listen, I only contribute when they do stuff the way I say do it, because I have their best interest in heart, not because I'm a control freak. But I don't fund people's stupidity. I don't participate in their insanity. And you shouldn't either. That's not an act of love. That is an act of enabling. And you are in a wicked, weird situation. You need to be very careful, because there's a reasonable probability that you have a mess on your hands. I mean, wow. Scary, scary, scary. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. Andrea is with us in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Andrea. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm great. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So my husband and I went through FPU about 2 years ago, and we are on baby step 6, and we're having a little disagreement over something he wants to purchase. So we figured you'd be the tiebreaker.
I'll get my striped shirt and whistle out. I'll be the referee.
Awesome. Thank you. So our household income is about $120 from our regular, jobs that we do. He just started a side business, which is basically doing online marketing. And right now he's making about $4,300 a month with it. So
wow.
It's
Profit?
doing really well.
Profit?
Yeah, his expenses are very minimal, so it's probably at least $3,500 a month in profit.
Wow,
yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's doing well, but it's still a really new business. He's only been doing it for about 2 months, and he has right now 3 clients, and he's hoping to get a few more. But he's very excited about this and wants to purchase a fairly expensive $1,500 piece of exercise equipment. Out of the business, and I'm just nervous because it's still a new business, and I'd rather we kind of just save up and plan for it the way we do with everything else in our normal household budget. But just wanted to get your thoughts. Okay.
Well, he's not really buying it for the business or out of the business. It's out of your household income, which now has an extra $8,000 in it from 2 months of work.
Correct.
Okay. So let's just pretend he was at work and he got a bonus for $8,000. Maybe it was a one-time bonus. Okay. Just for the fun of it. That's like your worst-case scenario, meaning he's already made $8,000 on the online business, 2 months of $4,000, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so if he never made another dime, it would be like he got a nice bonus at work, $8,000 check. And out of that check, he wanted to buy a $1,500 piece of equipment. Would that be bad?
I don't know. I guess I would just rather. I'm just excited about paying off the house.
Okay, now that's a fair argument. Okay, all right. Because I mean, so you get a bonus in, and we say, "Do we want to?" We can change how the money came in, but we got some extra money, is what it amounts to. And you want to throw it at the house, and he wants to buy this piece of equipment.
Yes.
Okay. And how much is the balance on your home?
Right now we owe about $150.
Okay. All right. And have you guys not done anything else to enjoy some money since you busted through baby step 3?
We have. We've taken some nice vacations, and we always set money aside for travel. So we definitely have. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you did. That's because what we teach, as you know, and it sounds like you're living that properly, is to have gazelle intensity, which is scorched earth, no life at all till you get through baby step 3. And then when you get through baby step 3, you let your foot off the gas a little bit, and you're just you concentrate, but you buy some things and enjoy some things while continuing to pay extra on the house, which is what you did when you went on the trip, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that's also what this exercise equipment is.
I suppose it is.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's if you want to move up in car, It'd be the same argument. If you wanted to, you were driving a $5,000 car and you want to move to a $8,000 car and you wanted to, move up, spend the extra $3,000 on that or something like that, that'd be the same discussion. Is that's going to eat up, just like the trip ate up some of the money that could have gone towards the house. But the point is, that's the letting off of the accelerator, backing off from full-on gazelle intensity to enjoying and doing some other stuff. You might even increase some giving during that time and all those kinds of things. Mm-hmm. So the point is to be concentrating on the house, but not to the exclusion of all other things. So really, the truth is, what this argument comes down to is this is not a joint purchase that both of you want. It's something he just wants.
Basically, yes.
Yeah, that's the argument. It's not that it's the wrong place. It's not that it's the wrong place in the baby steps or that it's really against the house. It's just he wants it and you don't care about it one way or the other.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like we should maybe just, it feels like an impulse a little bit. Like maybe we should have saved up for, $500 a month or something, because I don't know. I just feel like it's a little impulsive, and it's
well, you got
so
a bonus.
Much money.
You got an $8,000 bonus, and you can say, we want to do some giving or whatever. What you could do to that's a fair argument too. That's a fair part of the equation. Sometimes when Sharon and I are talking about it, she's like, I don't know. Kind of feels like you just got the fever. Let's wait a month and see if you still want it. After a month, if you still want it, we'll do it.
Okay.
And see if the fever goes away. That would change it from an impulse to a solid purchase. What kind of exercise equipment is it?
It's one of these Peloton spin bikes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And is he taking spin class now?
He found a used one. Yes.
Okay. How long has he been taking spin class?
Used one.
How long has he been taking spin class?
A couple of years.
Okay. So him being on a bike is not an impulse.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, because I've never taken spin class, so me buying one might be I'm more of a runner, and that kind of thing. So me being on one might be more of an impulse, because it's not like it's something he's never done, is my point.
That's correct, yes.
So in that sense, that's an argument for him. So, I might shop around, try to figure out where we can pick one up used at one of the sports consignment stores or Craigslist or something like that. Is there a place to find one, a really nice one but slightly used that somebody's using to hang their clothes on instead of actually ride, and that kind of stuff? And, let's take a month and see if he cools off on it. If after a month we find a bargain or he still wants it, I'd probably do it. He wins.
Okay. Well, thanks, Dave. He's going to be really happy to hear that.
But do you see kind of how I got there?
I do. It makes sense, yes.
Yeah, there's nothing in here about you guys being irresponsible. And the reason I walked all the way through that is it's a good exercise all for our listeners, too, to just think through at that baby step where you're trying to pay on the house. Okay, when do we not pay on the house, and when do we pay on the house? Because if all you do is buy stuff, you'll never pay on the house, and that's your point. But I don't think you guys are out of control. The fact that you're having this discussion is proof that you are in control. So that's pretty cool. I think you're going to get the house paid off pretty quick, by the way. And I think it's going to be due to his business exploding, because I got a feeling this $40,000 is going to turn into $80,000. And that's probably going to pay the house off. So I think we're okay. That's the other part that's rattling around in the back of my head here. But that's a cool discussion. It really is. It's a good thing to talk about. PJ on Twitter says, is there a balance between gazelle intensity and what the Bible says, the dangers of gaining wealth hastily? Well, PJ, gazelle intensity doesn't have anything to do with gaining wealth. Gazelle intensity has to do with getting out of debt, which is from the Scriptures. And it's Proverbs 6:1-7. If you've signed surety, my son, do this. Give no sleep to your eyelids, no slumber to your eyes, and deliver yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, a bird from the hand of the fowler. That's Proverbs 6:1-7. Now, what's that mean? If you've signed surety, is Old English Bible talk for gotten yourself into debt. How you get out of debt? You deliver yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter. You run like a cheetah is chasing you, trying to kill you. That's gazelle intensity. You run for your freaking life. And that's to get out of debt. That is not a danger of gaining wealth hastily, because we're not trying to gain wealth. We're trying to get away from the dadgum master, because we're a slave. The borrower is slave to the lender, which frees us up to build wealth as a steady, plodding thing. Because, yeah, there is gaining wealth hastily. There's all kinds of warnings about that in Scripture. And not only your spirit, but also just the general process that you end up building a house of cards, which is what I did. It's how I went broke. I gained wealth hastily in my 20s. And borrowed too dadgum much money, and it caved in on my head because I was stupid. And that's what it comes down to. But they're different things. And so the gazelle intensity does run up through baby step 3, through the emergency fund. And after that, let your foot off the gas. Now you start your wealth building. Now we start paying off the house. And we start upgrading the couch, and getting the spin bike, and so forth. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. Brought to you by YRefi. Refinance your defaulted private student loans today at yrefi.com/Ramsey.
All right. Today's question comes from Melody in Virginia. She says, my husband and I are in our early 40s and got married last year. While we were dating, my husband bought a house for us. I participated in the whole process, and he paid the down payment and the mortgage until we got married. We have joint accounts. All that we make goes there, and we treat all income as ours. We worked together to pay off the debt we brought into the marriage. My husband recently became very ill and agreed to do some estate planning. I asked him to add me to the house, deed, and mortgage, but he wants to just stipulate in his will that the house will be mine if something happens to him. I don't care about the house itself, but while I made sure to put him as a beneficiary for everything that is mine, he has friends and family as beneficiaries for what is his. Am I wrong in feeling off about this whole situation?
Yeah.
I would definitely feel off about this. The truth is, okay, so let's talk about the will thing first, because if you were like, hey, I'm not on the deed and there's no will, that would really be a problem, just looking at it as that. Because I'd say, well, especially since you guys bought this thing before you were married, it could go to probate depending on what state you're in.
Yeah.
And it would take time for it to really iron out and go to you. The other thought is, but there is a will. Then my next thought is like, have you seen the will? Because I want to see it with my eyeballs on it for real.
Yeah.
So, because if not, depending on what your state is, again, there could be an issue there. Then there's the relational side of what's going on here. Like, why doesn't he want that? And I also want to know, well, why are your friends and family on the other assets? Like, what is it? What could it be? A 401k? Anything else? A savings account? Anything else that would have a beneficiary?
That would be in his name exclusively that she couldn't be on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what stands out to me, and I'm going to read a lot into this, but this is just what stands out to me. You're in your 40s. You've only been married for a year. It sounds like there's something previous that's playing into this. Like, maybe there was a previous spouse or a previous relationship and he has trust issues. Something is going on there. I find that when people are later in life in those relationships, there tends to be more walls up.
Yeah, more bad experiences that happen with life. And because of that, people get protective and they want to protect themselves, which in one case is totally understandable. But also, as it plays out in the health of the marriage, it ends up being more detrimental than beneficial. And that's where you guys have to like really get on the same page. So unless, to your point, that he promised his brother that he would help pay for the brother's kids' college. I don't know. It's like there's something there that makes sense to you, but for you not even to understand why, that's a bigger problem to me. You need to know that. Jade, I was stopped by somebody recently out and about, and she was very kind, but she was like, can I just ask you a quick question? I was like, sure. But she was saying that her and her husband are working their way out of debt. She has, I think like maybe, I can't remember the exact word, maybe $20,000 left in her name because they're her student loans.
Okay.
And they were going to go and refinance the house. Well, if they put her name on the deed in the refinance, then they're not going to get as good of a rate because of her credit score and everything. Yeah. And so she was like, we want to refinance, but should we hold off till we're debt free, or could we go ahead and refinance and my name not be on the deed, but I could put it on the deed after I'm, get out of debt. Anyways, it was this whole situation. And I told her, I was like, I mean, yes, you want your name on the deed eventually. And if it's not, it needs to be in the will, like what you're saying. But I think the ownership aspect of both being on the deed is important, but also in a short term, if it doesn't make financial sense, save the money and then put your name later if your name is in the will for it. You know what I mean?
That can make sense. Yeah.
Just in case something happens to him. Because the whole point, again, of sharing assets, yes, is from a tactical standpoint. So we want to be smart about that. But it's also from an ownership perspective and a unity perspective.
And depending on the state, I don't want to get this wrong, but depending on the state, let's say that the house was bought, it was bought pre-marriage, it was bought in his name. Technically, let's say that he passed away and there was debt that she didn't know about it. That house, depending on the state, could be treated as an asset and they could sell the house to pay the debt.
That's right.
So this is important. You know what I mean? It's important, A, to know your state law. B, it's important to make sure that these assets are protected because it's probably the thing that they have that's their biggest asset that has the ability to generate the most money for her if she were to sell it. So this is an important issue.
Why Refi refinances delinquent private student loans for struggling borrowers. Learn more at yrefy.com/Ramsey. Cassandra's in Flint, Michigan. Hi, Cassandra. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, we've just started. We're in baby step 2. We started December of last year, 2016. And one of the agreements when we started was my husband was adamant not to give up that 15% we were putting in our 401ks. So we've been plugging along. We've started out with $116,350. That's including our mortgage. And we've paid off since then $25,580. So we've both been still putting 15% away in as we're doing this. And then, of course, things have come up. My daughter got homecoming court. I have a daughter in college. She's paying most of her tuition. We helped her out a little bit. So there's been hiccups. But I'm wanting to sell my car. I'm wanting to stop my 15% at least. I'm just wondering if that's what I should do, or should we just keep plugging along like we have been?
Well, I've already told you what my plan is.
I know.
You don't need to ask me what my plan is. You already know. The only question is, are you going to do my plan or your plan?
Right. I want to do your plan. He does to a point, but not give up that 15%.
But he's $116,000 in debt, and I'm not.
Right.
So apparently my plan doesn't suck.
I agree.
Okay. So, I mean, it's a Dr. Phil moment. That's what you do. You look at him as Dr. Phil moment. How's it working for you? It's not.
Right.
The best laid plans that he laid in place got you where you are. And I'm not picking on him, but that's kind of arrogant.
No. Right.
That's like me sitting here fat going, I don't like your diet plan.
Well, and we have, between the two of us with our I have a 403B, he has a 401K, and we have almost $800,000 in there now. So my thing is like, it's not going to hurt us to give that up. But
yeah, I think.
Him.
Yeah, think. Yeah, for real.
Right. I think he's worried about that, and I don't know.
How are you worried? He's got $800,000. It'd be different if he was 72 and had $2.
I know. I can't convince him, but I'm going to drop mine, and I want to.
No, you guys need to get on the same page, and Knucklehead needs to get his knuckle out of his head.
Thank you.
I'm serious. I mean, you guys have done great. You got $800,000 freaking dollars. So if you want to work your plan, the two of you work your plan. But if you're going to work my plan, I teach people to stop putting money in retirement and quickly, by intense focus, clean up the 401k. So have you guys read the Total Money Makeover or been to Financial Peace or anything?
We both read the Total Money Makeover.
And you flunked the book report. He flunked the book report.
He did.
Because there's a whole segment in there that explains the logic behind stopping this on a temporary basis and the power of focus. There's a whole section in the book. Go find it again. Read it to him.
I will. And I've mentioned the FPU classes, which he's willing to do, but then when I mentioned the amount it costs for that, so...
He doesn't want to spend $99. He's got $800,000 and he's screwing up the plan. This guy's a knucklehead. He's a knucklehead. I would give it to you, but I think he ought to pay for it. So I'm not going to give it to you. Because I don't think he's going to appreciate it until he pays for it. Oh, Lord. Bless your heart, sweetie. But y'all just keep working on it. You just got to decide what you're going to do. But that's the plan. The reason we do this stuff is because it works better than your plan. It's that simple. And I've explained all of that and he knows all of that, but he's smart. So there you go. Smart people are the hardest, you know. It's dumb people like me that, you know, when you reach a point that you gave up, that surrender moment, that's the best moment of your life. When you go, I don't know how to fix this. Would you show me how? And then you submit yourself to a plan. You know, you hire a personal trainer that come in they come in and show you an exercise program, and you go, you know, I think I'm probably going to do those push-ups a little different than that. No, you pay the personal trainer. You submit yourself to the system that they bring in because they have abs and you have a keg. I mean, that's why you do this. You submit yourself to learning something from someone that knows more than you. And that smart people don't do that sometimes, which means they're not wise, but they're smart. I do it too. I'm a hardhead too. I'm a knucklehead too. But you guys all know what I'm talking about. You don't have to fix my plan. It's not broken. There's only one thing I know is this, and I really know this. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Courtney's with us. Courtney is in Colorado Springs. Hi, Courtney. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Sure. What's up?
My question is, how do I protect, or how does my husband and I protect our finances against his money-hungry ex-wife?
Money-hungry ex-wife.
Why would she have any access to your finances? She's called the ex-wife for a reason.
Basically, our main concern is, could she pull more child support when she finds out that he's been married?
I'm sorry. Would she get child support increase because he got a raise? Is that what you said?
Because we got married, could she take?
She doesn't get more child support because you got married. Child support's based on his income, not yours.
Gotcha.
Okay. So how else would the crazy ex have access to your husband's money?
That was the only way I was thinking. I've heard that they do yearly audits.
They do. They do, because your husband has children, and he should support those children, and the law agrees with that idea.
Correct.
And if he gets more money as his income, he's supposed to give more to his children. That's not a money-hungry ex. That's just dad taking care of his kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Has she contacted him? Is she making threats? Or is this just all kind of in your head right now of what could happen?
She hasn't contacted him. I guess this is just me trying to make sure we protect ourselves.
Okay. Well, you're in good shape. As long as your husband is willing to give the legal percentage of his income to his children under the law for child support, which he legally and morally should do. If you want protection from that, I can't help you. But as long as he's willing to do that, you don't need protection from anything else. She can't get anything else. She has no access. Or if your husband is spineless and just gives her money because she yells at him or something. I mean, has he got that problem?
No, she's not.
Okay, so he doesn't just hand her money just because she puffs up or something, right?
Correct.
Okay. That's just a behavior issue. That's not a legal or a financial issue. But yeah, I mean, sometimes people are intimidated by their exes or whatever, and we have to just kind of correct that by saying, X in front is a reason.
Yes.
X means no mo.
No mo.
That's what that means.
We're making sure the courts decide how this goes down, not his emotions or her. And so that's the important part. And it sounds like this is largely right now just a fear versus a reality.
Yeah, like you have discovered that no one likes your husband's ex. Oh, well, that's really, makes two of you. Because she's a greedy jerk. Okay, whatever. That's fine. No trouble. But she's still over there, and she's the ex, and the only involvement you have is just around the children. And so we'll try to be nice and pleasant and give the appropriate amount of child support. As long as you're trying to do that, then I don't think you're going to have any issues. There's nothing she can just, or unless she shows up at the doorstep and your husband just caves and starts handing her money. But that's a husband issue. That's not a protection issue then.
Yeah, this was simpler than I thought it would be. I thought there was some crazy stuff going on, but it's just child support as far as we can tell.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
very reasonable.
Well, there's a real dynamic when you're the new wife and the ex is over there in the distance crazy.
There's still a connection
That's
point.
a dynamic. Yeah.
Those kids are still going to be in his life, so you're going to have to learn to manage it.
Yeah, it's a thing. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Jessica's with us in San Diego. Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Good.
Good. How can I help?
At Christmas, right before Christmas, my husband came home and said, I bought a Christmas present for the kids. It's a dirt bike. And I said, just in shock, how much was that? And he said, well, it's only $30 a month, And I was really upset. We had an argument. And then Christmas Eve, he brought it home from the store, and he said, do you want to see it? And I said, yeah. And he had a dirt bike and a quad. And I said, what's this quad? And he said, well, you were so upset about the dirt bike, I didn't tell you that I got a quad as well. Well, then the kids didn't like the dirt bike, so he got another larger quad. Then he decided he wanted a quad to ride with the kids, so we now have 3, and I'm just really frustrated because we're like $15,000 in debt, and now we're just spending all this money on other things. Like we have my husband's student loans, and we're getting our tax refund. So I'm just wondering, what should we use for the tax refund? What should we pay off?
Doesn't matter. You're going to continue to be broke.
Yes.
Till you deal with this core issue, right?
Yeah.
The core issue is you're not on the same page. He spends like he's in Congress, and you're the only adult acting like somebody that's upset about it.
Yeah.
So how are we going to fix that?
I've been ignoring it, which is not a responsible thing to do.
Probably not a strategy.
It doesn't go away. Ignoring it doesn't help.
No kidding. So how long you guys have been married?
11 years.
Okay. All right. So here's the way this plays out after 30 years of coaching people. This ends in a divorce if it's not fixed, because you're going to reach a point that you're going to go Mount Vesuvius, and there's going to be no dialing you back in.
Yeah.
Because if you have any self-esteem whatsoever, at some point you're going to get sick of being lied to and being drugged financially through the mud, and you're going to punt, and I don't want that to happen. So we need to do a preemptive strike on your marriage problems is what we need to do. Now, how do we do that? You've got to determine how many times has this kind of thing happened in 11 years? Let me ask you that.
Occasionally.
Like once a year?
Not necessarily. The last one I can think of is we just had our 4th child, and we had a Volkswagen Passat and a truck, and we traded in the truck because we needed a van to fit everybody, all 6 of us. And then my husband was going to drive the car to work because the car was paid off, the truck wasn't. And he also has a motorcycle. And we agreed, even though he really wanted a truck, that we wouldn't get a new one until his motorcycle was paid off.
And then he went and bought one.
A few months later, yeah, we now have a truck.
How old is he?
34.
Okay. All right. He's operating emotionally on about a 14-year-old level when he does that kind of stuff. And that's why it's frustrating. You feel like his mother, and you have a misbehaving child. Am I right?
Sometimes.
Yeah. When he does stuff like that, that's how it has to feel. And you somewhat feel lied to and misled because you were lied to and misled. The lying part's we call financial infidelity, where people lie about money stuff because there's not a quality process that we can make the decisions in together. Because he's worried about you scratching his eyes out, and you're worried about him breaking the family. And so, there's no communication, there's a breakdown, and so people just become arrogant and go do whatever they want to do, and that's what he's doing. So bottom line is this: if you cannot sit down and have a very serious conversation with the television off and the kids away at school or the kids asleep at night and say, this is affecting our marriage, your misbehavior with money and us not being on the same page is going to continue to cause us problems. I am really losing respect for you as my husband, as a man. I feel scared because I don't know what stupid thing you're going to do next. I feel lied to because you have lied to me, and we have got to work on this. And if you don't get a really positive response to that, the next day you need to call your pastor or a marriage counselor and sit down with them. If he will not go, you need to go anyway, because you need someone better than Dave Ramsey on the radio to walk you through this. Because this is not on a scale of 1 to 10, this is about an 8 right now. But what'll happen, and again, I've seen this because I've done it thousands and thousands of times with couples, if it's not dealt with, you will go from an 8 to a 12 all of a sudden. You'll just reach, I've had it. I'm done. And no matter how many times he apologizes, no matter how many times he says anything, you'll be done. There won't be reeling you back. And I've seen it before. I'm warning you. If that doesn't feel right, it doesn't sound like you, it's because it's not you today. But this is going to go on to a certain point, and your fear and your disgust and your lack of respect is going to reach a point that you're just going to punt. And I don't want you to get there. I want you to turn the corner before that. So the two of you, if you can't work it out and begin a positive direction in one conversation, then you need a coach to walk you through that. That's a good marriage counselor. There's no shame in that. My wife and I have been to marriage counseling. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And you get some help and somebody to walk you through how to talk to each other, how to respect each other, how to love each other well, and how to work together on making life's decisions. And you have got to get that going. Does that make sense to you when I say that?
Yeah.
Are you going to do it?
Yes.
Okay.
And he is a good man.
I didn't say he wasn't a good man.
Yes.
I said when he does those things, he's acting like a little boy, and you have to take the position of mommy, and you wanted a man, you didn't want a boy.
Yeah.
Now, there's other times that he's manly and he's a good guy and everything's fine. But occasionally he goes off the ranch and does stupid that it takes the family 2 to 3 years to recover from because he's acting like he's 14 years old. There's nothing morally wrong with buying a truck or going and buying 3 quads. There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't do that and go in debt, and you don't do that and lie to your family, lie to your wife, and you don't do that and set the family back years in its financial progress. That's immature. That's 14 years old. That's what I'm talking about. And so it's not that. When he's doing that, he's not a good man. The other times, he's a good man. He's worth saving. I'm not trying to get you to punt him. I'm trying to get you to work on this so you don't punt him. That's my plan. And I think you can do it. I think you can turn this around. But, honey, I'll just promise you this. If you continue the current strategy, which is ignoring it, it's going to blow up in both your faces, and you're going to go, that bald guy in Tennessee told me that. Because I just did. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
Jenny is with us in Nashville. Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Great. Thank you for taking my call. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I just recently remarried, and we're in our I'm just turned 40, and so we're starting over. The thing is we make only about $50,000 a year because I work part time and go to school, and we pay out. He pays out in alimony and child support $22,500. And then when you add health insurance and you add mortgage and all of those things, we have very little left over at the end of the month. We actually, for Christmas, our Christmas gift to each other is starting in January. We're going through a financial peace 9-week thing. And our plan is, we want to be debt free, and honestly, I don't have a lot of debt. I've worked hard to make sure I don't do credit cards. I don't do any of that stuff. I just owe my house and a Harley, and we are going to sell the Harley.
Okay.
But I guess my question is, with having so little left, we like to give as well. What do you suggest we do as far as getting to a point where we can pay more or save more or,
Well, I mean, basically what you're telling me is you're trying to live on about $25,000 a year.
Yeah.
And how can I give more and pay more on $25,000 a year? And the answer is not easy. It's not, you've got an income problem. Now, the alimony, is it fixed? Is it locked in?
Well, it's in futuro is how it was listed, but I've done a lot of research, and it should not be that way because she is not. What they said was that she was unmarketable, but she does have an education degree. She is now working as a substitute teacher, but not reporting that she's working. So if she has an education degree and she's working as a substitute teacher, then that means she's not unmarketable, I would think. So we're going to fight that maybe we can get that alimony changed to transitional.
How long has he been divorced?
He's been divorced 2 years.
Okay. And how old are the children?
His child that he's paying child support on is 14.
Okay. Well, we know when that ends in 4 more years, right?
Right.
So that's a set situation. So we know that part of the equation goes away. Does the alimony have any set, like on if she remarries or anything like that?
It does if she remarries, and that's all that, and remarry or death, of course.
Okay. All right. Careful.
I know. I'm not wishing that. I'm not.
I'm kidding. So, yeah, I guess you look and see if there's a legal challenge on her marketability, and if the thing was done wrong, if he rolled over and played dead, in other words, in the middle of the negotiations on the divorce on the alimony portion. The child support, you knew that was there, and certainly, you're not suggesting he doesn't take care of his child, and no one with a good conscience would. But $22,500 is pretty heavy out of $50,000,
yeah.
And so most of that must be alimony.
Yes, it's almost $1,000 a month is alimony, and then another $866 for child support.
Yeah, the $866 sounds right. And so you just got to check and see. If there's anything you can do there, and if the alimony's locked down based on going forward, meaning if your husband and you went out and doubled your household income, it doesn't change the equation.
Right.
So in other words, all the money comes to you guys, and that's what you're facing. So that's the kind of thing you got to think about, and the reason you're strained is you're trying to live on $25,000 a year, and it can be done, but it's very, very hard.
It is.
And so Financial Peace University is going to help you, but more than anything, you've already identified your challenge, and your challenge is you got 50 coming in and 22.5 going back out. And that's just a challenge mathematically. There's no other way to say it. And I don't hear any weird bitterness or craziness in your voice or anything like that. So I think you guys can probably do some things to get your income up, and I would go look at the alimony situation. I'd continue to look at that, see if it can be challenged. I don't know anything about that stuff, or very little about it. And so you'd have to see a good attorney and decide if it's worth fighting and so on, and just work your way through on those decisions. So, hey, thanks for the call. You guys would be so rich so fast and be able to do so much, not only for yourselves and for your family, but for others. Hi, Ethan. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
So my wife and I were just recently married 5 months ago.
Congratulations.
And, thank you. I appreciate it. So since getting married, I adopted a bit of debt, which is something that I'm not too familiar with.
You adopted it?
Well, most of it is not mine.
It came with the package.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Man, I was slow on the uptake on that one, dude. My bad.
Sorry.
So she had a bunch of debt that's now y'all's debt.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, listen, on behalf of wives everywhere, thank you for your gentle language that you adopted it as though it was like a sweet puppy.
Yeah, it was her cat.
That was very loving of you, man.
Her ugly cat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's ours now. It is ours.
So how much debt did you adopt?
So, a little under 100,000.
So you adopted like a hippopotamus, like not a puppy.
This is not a puppy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a large puppy.
Yeah. All right. $100,000. And what's your household income?
Yeah, my household income is it's about 58.
Okay. And you two are on the same page about attacking all of this, I assume?
Yes, sir, we are.
Good. How can we help?
So, I guess my question is just, debt is something that I'm not too familiar with. So,
yeah,
advice on...
We got that. That's your nice way of saying it. Stressing your butt out. I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess just advice on how to tackle this debt as promptly as possible while still being able to enjoy being newly married and kind of establishing our house and our bringing in furniture into our apartment, and also a dream of ours is to one day start a business together. So how to just, I guess, navigate all that. Maybe that's too
do you
far
want the
ahead of
truthful
time,
answer, or do you want the Pinterest answer?
Truthful answer. I'm not huge on Pinterest, so
I'm not into Pinterest. I didn't know Pinterest was lies, but that's pretty. It's just butterflies.
Well, it's
and
just
flowers.
pretty pictures, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Truthful answer, please.
I think my wife and I were married 10 years because of the hole I dug. When we both were participated, but mostly me, to the tune of 6 figures and a whole bunch of degrees, before I finally was able to buy a headboard on Craigslist that I spray painted in my backyard. Here's what I'm telling you. Long term in your marriage, the smartest thing to do right now is to pay your debts off. Borrow furniture, get crummy furniture, get to the next stage, man. But you have this picture of what you thought your first year of marriage was going to be like, and you'll have 6 figures in debt. And you can have all the pretty furniture in the world and all the nice cars in the world and all the new businesses, and that debt will bury your marriage. And I know that because I've done it. I lived it. And I kept punting it and moving it around and trying to do this and putting things off instead of just sucking it up and getting that stupid stuff paid off.
Here's what's weird. When you guys decide together and you take her 2 hands and your 2 hands, you look into her eyes, and you decide to spend the next 24 months on a garage sale couch that cost $13 and is pinkish blue, but we're not sure what color really. When you decide to do that, you're going to laugh about those days later, and you're certainly going to be, but it's actually going to, the weird thing is it's actually going to increase the quality of your relationship and your marriage more than the new couch will.
By 100 miles.
Because we're working together for a common goal, and we're sacrificing together for a common goal. And when you guys do that, when you pay a price for something you both believe in early in your marriage together, it knits you together more beautifully than buying than everything looking perfect, than a $100,000 wedding, a $200,000 car, and a $300,000 new business. And, so a crummy wedding day when it rains and the mushroom caps float in the little thing, and because you did it outside and you didn't think it was going to rain, and that knits you together. It sounds weird. Like, I don't want to sign you up for suffering, but you've already adopted it. So there you go.
Yeah, you signed you up for suffering.
Yeah, so let's get after it. So working extra jobs, living on a budget, the both of you being in agreement, not you dragging her along because you have anxiety about debt, but her being in agreement that, hey, this is a mess. We're both going to work on this. We're both going to lock arms. We're going to put equal emotional effort into it. And we're going to sacrifice to win for a short period of time. We're going to live like no one else so that later we can live and give like no one else. Your business opening is going to be down the line after you're out of debt, have an emergency fund saved, and then save up some money to start your business. Right now, you're just going to work your butts off, both of you. And both of you aren't working enough. You got to work more.
Here's another cool thing. You'll buy a different couch in 30 months than you would right now. Because you know how much $1 is worth and how much $1,000 is worth, and you're not going to buy a $5,000 couch.
Yeah. And so I start doing math if I'm you. Okay, $33,000 a year, it means I'm out of debt in 3 years. $50,000 a year means I'm out of debt in 2 years. And how am I going to do that making 58? I got to make more money. I got to have more money coming in. And I can't spend money on anything because I don't have any money. We're not going out to eat. We're not going on vacation. You're not going to see the inside of a restaurant unless you're freaking working there. But guess what? You're the second generation that thought you had to eat out every night your first year of marriage. Every other generation, the bride had the pleasure of burning meals for a year trying to figure it out. And then you can laugh about that too. And my wife is actually a good Southern cook, but she still screwed up a lot of stuff the first year. And you know how much I screwed up? None, because I didn't do nothing. So there you go. I screwed that up too. So there you go. But so I just got the pleasure of her being mad when I was making fun of her. But anyway, it's all good. So, but no, I mean, this is how life works, y'all. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay for everything to not look like Instagram, because that's someone else's highlight reel. Their kids still pooped in the floor 3 minutes before they did those little white suits and put them all together. 3 minutes before.
In the floor?
What are you thinking? You know they did.
I know they did.
Those kids that wear those white suits, you know they did that.
There's cha-cha everywhere at that house. Everywhere.
So, yeah, don't follow other people's highlight reels. Sacrifice to win.
Pay it off now. Pay it off now.
Two of you have a shared vision, very detailed, very laid out, where both of you are in agreement on it, and then get your butt in attack mode. That'll be the best thing ever happened to a young marriage, is to learn to accomplish goals together through sacrifice, through goal setting, through hard work. You can do that. You can do anything, my friend. Anything. Nothing will stop you. Hi, Ethan. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
So my wife and I were just recently married 5 months ago.
Congratulations.
And, thank you. I appreciate it. So since getting married, I adopted a bit of debt, which is something that I'm not too familiar with.
You adopted it?
Well, most of it is not mine.
It came with the package.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was slow on the uptake on that one, dude. My bad.
Sorry.
So she had a bunch of debt that's now y'all's debt.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, listen, on behalf of wives everywhere, thank you for your gentle language that you adopted it as though it was like a sweet puppy.
Yeah, it was her cat.
That was very loving of you, man.
Her ugly cat.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's ours now. It is ours.
So how much debt did you adopt?
So, a little under 100,000.
So you adopted like a hippopotamus, like not a puppy.
This is not a puppy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a large puppy.
Yeah. All right. $100,000. And what's your household income?
Yeah, my household income is it's about 58.
Okay. And you two are on the same page about attacking all of this, I assume?
Yes, sir, we are.
Good. How can we help?
So, I guess my question is debt is something that I'm not too familiar with. So, advice on...
We got that. That's your nice way of saying stressing your butt out. I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So, I guess just advice on how to tackle this debt as promptly as possible while still being able to enjoy being newly married and kind of establishing our house and our bringing in furniture into our apartment, and also a dream of ours is to one day start a business together. So how to just, I guess, navigate all that. Maybe that's too
do you
far
want the
ahead of
truthful
time,
answer, or do you want the Pinterest answer?
Truthful answer. I'm not huge on Pinterest, so
I'm not into. I didn't know Pinterest was lies, but that's pretty. It's just butterflies.
Well, it's
and
just pretty
flowers.
pictures, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
yeah. Truthful answer, please.
I think my wife and I were married 10 years because of the hole I dug. When we both were participated, but mostly me, to the tune of 6 figures and a whole bunch of degrees, before I finally was able to buy a headboard on Craigslist that I spray painted in my backyard. Here's what I'm telling you. Long term in your marriage, the smartest thing to do right now is to pay your debts off. Borrow furniture, get crummy furniture, get to the next stage, man. But you have this picture of what you thought your first year of marriage was going to be like, and you'll have 6 figures in debt. And you can have all the pretty furniture in the world and all the nice cars in the world and all the new businesses, and that debt will bury your marriage. And I know that because I've done it. I lived it. And I kept punting it and moving it around and trying to do this and putting things off instead of just sucking it up and getting that stupid stuff paid off.
Here's what's weird. When you guys decide together and you take her 2 hands and your 2 hands, you look into her eyes, and you decide to spend the next 24 months on a garage sale couch that cost $13 and is pinkish blue, but we're not sure what color really. When you decide to do that, you're going to laugh about those days later, and you're certainly going to be, but it's actually going to, the weird thing is, it's actually going to increase the quality of your relationship and your marriage more than the new couch will.
By 100 miles.
Because we're working together for a common goal, and we're sacrificing together for a common goal. And when you guys do that, when you pay a price for something you both believe in early in your marriage together, it knits you together more beautifully than buying than everything looking perfect, than a $100,000 wedding, a $200,000 car, and a $300,000 new business. And, you know, so a crummy wedding day when it rains and the mushroom caps float in the little thing, and because you did it outside and you didn't think it was going to rain, and that knits you together. It sounds weird. Like, I don't want to sign you up for suffering, but you've already adopted it. So there you go.
Yeah, you signed you up for suffering.
Yeah, so let's get after it. So working extra jobs, living on a budget, the both of you being in agreement, not you dragging her along because you have anxiety about debt, but her being in agreement that, hey, this is a mess. We're both going to work on this. We're both going to lock arms. We're going to put equal emotional effort into it. And we're going to sacrifice to win for a short period of time. We're going to live like no one else so that later we can live and give like no one else. Your business opening is going to be down the line after you're out of debt, have an emergency fund saved, and then save up some money to start your business. Right now, you're just going to work your butts off, both of you. And both of you aren't working enough. You got to work more.
Here's another cool thing. You'll buy a different couch in 30 months than you would right now, because you know how much $1 is worth and how much $1,000 is worth, and you're not going to buy a $5,000 couch.
Yeah. And so I start doing math if I'm you. Okay, $33,000 a year, it means I'm out of debt in 3 years. $50,000 a year means I'm out of debt in 2 years. And how am I going to do that making 58? I got to make more money. I got to have more money coming in. And I can't spend money on anything because I don't have any money. We're not going out to eat. We're not going on vacation. You're not going to see the inside of a restaurant unless you're freaking working there. But guess what? You're the second generation that thought you had to eat out every night your first year of marriage. Every other generation, the bride had the pleasure of burning meals for a year trying to figure it out. And then you can laugh about that too. And my wife is actually a good Southern cook, but she still screwed up a lot of stuff the first year. And you know how much I screwed up? None, because I didn't do nothing. So there you go. I screwed that up too. So there you go. But so I just got the pleasure of her being mad when I was making fun of her. But anyway, it's all good. So, but no, I mean, this is how life works, y'all. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay for everything to not look like Instagram, because that's someone else's highlight reel. Their kids still pooped in the floor 3 minutes before they did those little white suits and put them all together. 3 minutes before.
In the floor?
What are you thinking? You know they did.
I know they did.
Those kids that wear those white suits, you know they did that.
There's cha-cha everywhere at that house. Everywhere.
So, yeah, don't follow other people's highlight reels. Sacrifice to win.
Pay it off now. Pay it off now.
Two of you have a shared vision, very detailed, very laid out, where both of you are in agreement on it. and then get your butt in attack mode. That'll be the best thing ever happened to a young marriage, is to learn to accomplish goals together through sacrifice, through goal setting, through hard work. You can do that. You can do anything, my friend. Anything. Nothing will stop you.
Randall joins us next. He's in Waco, Texas. Randall, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello, how are you?
Great. How can we help today?
So, just kind of get started on a brief little thing. So, I come from a family of addiction and not a very wealthy group of people, and somehow I was able to break free from that. And I was in law enforcement for most of my adult life. And then me and my wife decided that we were going to start a trucking company, and we did. She quit her job, and everybody's going to think we're a fool for some of the things that we've done, but she quit her job. We pulled her retirement and put it all into this business. So anyways, I drive a lot, and so I listen to you guys a lot just recently. And it wasn't until I started listening to you guys that I realized I didn't escape the addiction that my family has. My addiction is spending money. So that being said, I've reared back really hard. I have my $1,000 savings. I've got a list of all my debts and things. I have our house is paid for. So my most important question, the reason why I'm calling in, is because the business that we started, I had to buy a new truck, and the new truck is like $68,000, and we financed that. So the truck payment is about $1,400 a month. That being said, the insurance for the company that I started is also about $1,500 a month. So it just feels really heavy on that side of things, because it makes my business bills about $4,500 a month, plus my home bills about $2,200 a month. So just trying to figure out the right path to go through. Should I try to ditch this vehicle and get something else, but I just really need something reliable? I don't need to be breaking down, driving 1,500 miles in a week.
Sure. Well, Randall, I heard you say these words. It always gets me a little riled up when you said I had to buy the $70,000 truck to start my business.
Right.
You didn't have to. You chose to, right?
Yes, sir.
And so the good news is we can choose to do some other things, choose to make some better decisions. And so, yes, I would be getting rid of this truck. Can you find one that's used that you could pay cash for if you sold it? How special is this truck?
One. It's not special. I mean, it's special because it does the job, but it's not. There's no sentimental value or anything like that. I mean, there's another truck that I have my eye on, and it's about $20,000.
I like that.
But it's I don't have cash to pay $20,000 either. That would have to be another financing situation. But it's financing $20,000 seems like.
So how much could you sell this truck for today?
How much is the car worth? The truck today worth, the one that you have?
Well, I haven't looked into that yet. Because
could you get more than 68 for it?
I don't think I could get more than 68, but I could hopefully get at or around that number.
Okay. Is that all of your debt?
More than 68. No, I have everything's broken down. So the truck is 68. Me and my wife together have about $92,000 in student loans, and there's about $10,000 in like credit card payments and such.
Okay. Well, the way I do this is using the debt snowball, where I list them out from smallest to largest regardless of the interest rate, and we start attacking this thing. And that means we need to get this business revenue up, or your wife needs to work a second job. I don't know what that looks like for you guys, but we've got to get this income up, because your payments, you can't even breathe right now.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
How much do you guys make a year, Randall?
We haven't completed a full year, but my wife. So whenever we started this, like I said, my wife, we made the decision that she was going to stay at home, because I have 7 children. Also.
Wow.
But but they range from 21 years old and all the way down to 1 year old. So anyway, she stays at home with the baby.
Yeah.
And I'm on the road a lot. And I forgot what your question was.
Yeah. Oh, how much you make a year? How much is it?
Okay. Yes. So typically I can bring home probably a minimum of about $10,000, maybe $15,000 a month. But that's not all profit. So a lot of that goes into fuel and insurance and other things that are like other vehicle maintenance needs.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't like this option, but you trading down $68,000 loan for a $20,000 loan feels a lot better to me to clear some of this debt and give you some breathing room.
Right. That's what I was kind of feeling.
Yeah.
I listen to you guys a lot. I bought the book and I've listened to it and probably one day. And so I'm really trying to follow everything. I don't want to abandon the business because I'm hoping that it will do better, but
it'll do better when you have more margin in your life, first of all, even if the revenue stayed exactly where it is today. But right now, you need every single paycheck coming in, or else you're screwed. So.
Yeah, and Randall, I would look at a couple of things because what you've just described, you guys have a full life, right? I mean, you got 7 kids. You're on the road working, and so this business that you guys have that is awesome. I mean, I would really take into consideration, okay, what am I actually, right? Because there's a lot of expenses here you listed out. So what is this? What am I actually bringing home for my family? What's my passion in this? Is it going to, are revenues projected to make more? Are we going to be growing this thing, right? Like I don't want, and I'm not saying it's a dead end business by any means, but I don't want you in something that you're going to be losing money or it's not going to be growing and you're in this perpetual state of like, gosh, you're just gone all the time and you end up not enjoying it. So the job situation, the business, I really want you guys to look at and be serious at. Even though you made crazy life decisions, you know, she came home, you cashed out retirement, all of that to start it. Take the emotions out, and I really want you guys to evaluate that business together and make sure this is the lifestyle that you guys want as your family on just a values aspect. And then when it comes to the debt, yeah, I mean, if there's anything, now 7 kids, that's a full house. So, but if there's anything that she can do, even staying at home to bring in some extra money.
Or even that 21-year-old, if they can help support the family, if they're living there.
No, so she doesn't live there. She started her own family.
Yeah, and
she graduated nursing school. And she's starting beginning her own life.
Yeah. So this is you guys. This is y'all's decision. You know, for what you guys have done. And I hear a resolve though in your voice, Randall, that I think is great. I mean, I think you really are at the end of your rope, meaning like
you're willing to do whatever.
Yeah, what we've done has not worked, and so it is going to be this idea that it's a marathon. It's not going to be a sprint, and that's the hard thing is we are so used to seeing results so quickly. We want these things resolved so quickly, and that's one reason why we do say the debt snowball, because you at least get these quick wins. So even this $10,000 credit card debt, like if it's multiple credit cards, list them out individually, right? Like
you got to feel some progress.
Yes, I want you guys to be doing that. So continue on what you know, selling the truck like George said, but keep chipping away. And if there's any way to raise the income, again, I don't want you to abandon a business that you guys started by any means. I don't want to give you that advice here on one call on a 4-minute radio call, but is there anything you can be doing to be making more? Is there a job, another industry? I don't know, just anything to kind of clean up this mess for the short term. I think.
I mean, could you work for someone else right now and make more on your take-home pay after all of your expenses are gone?
That could be an option, is to seek working with somebody or for somebody else.
Yeah. I'd get creative, man. I'd get real creative at this point and see what are my options. And you know what, future, maybe we start that business back up. But right now, we've got to clean up a big mess, and you've got a lot of people relying on this income.
And you guys can do it, Randall. Y'all can do this.
Yeah, you call us back if we can help in any other way.
Thank you for joining us, America. Josh is with us in Fort Myers, Florida. Hi, Josh. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Dave. How about yourself?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I got a 401k question. I've been with corporations all my career. So everywhere I went, somebody's always had a 401k program where it was just roll over your money into this new program if I left my job. Well, I started with an independent franchise owner. And so I got my 401k money rolled over to me in the form of a check.
Oh, no.
And apparently you're supposed to find somewhere to put them within a certain amount of time.
Yeah, and you didn't even get the whole amount. They withheld 20% on you.
Yeah, so I have 2 checks on my desk in my office, and now I'm wondering what in the world is going on. And number 2, we are on day 1 of baby step number 2. This is our first month.
Okay.
So I'm wondering.
No, you don't use this money. Any money you use out of that 401k is going to cost you your tax rate plus a 10% penalty. So it's going to be 35 or 40% hit on this money. And so you wouldn't borrow money at 35 or 40% to use it. So the problem you've got is this. When you take that check, they withheld 20% on you. You have 60 days to put 100% of your 401k into an IRA, or you're going to be taxed and penalized on whatever you don't put in there. But you don't even have 100%. You've only got 80%. So that's why this is a major error. How much money is involved here?
About $40,000.
Okay. And so that was what was in the 401k, or that's what they sent you?
Well, $40,000 was what was in. I got a check for $37,317.
47,000 was what was in there.
37. Or I'm sorry. Yes, you're correct.
Yeah. They would have, because they had to withhold 20% on you, which would be about $8,000 on a $40,000 deal. So, yeah, you're somewhere up in the 46 was your balance or something like that. So you've got an $8,000 problem right now. So what I want you to do is real quickly. When did you get that check?
January of this year.
Well, you're already screwed. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, you had 60 days to roll it. You didn't roll it. You've cashed it out.
Yeah, that's what I was basically told was, oh, you had 60 days. Of course, obviously, we're way past that point now. Now I have 2 checks staring at me, and I'm thinking, well, I'm already in trouble.
Yeah.
But I can't get any more trouble than I'm already in. So now
you're not in trouble. You just got taxes of probably $16,000 and penalties on this money. And of that, you've already paid $8,000. So you got about another $8,000 once you cash. But you've never even cashed the check.
No.
Why?
It was one of those things. We had my in November, and lack of sleep. No excuse really. It just got shuffled under some paperwork, and then when cleaning up the desk, it was just kind of like, oh, how did I have to do this? But
yeah, that was like a $16,000 shuffle. Ouch. So let's do this to verify. But I'm 90% sure you're going to you're going to cash the check, and it's going to show up in your taxes this year, and you're going to get hammered for taxes and penalties on this. Okay. Of which you've already paid some with the amount they withhold, but that's other than that. So what's your household income?
My wife and I combined about $100,000.
Yeah, you're going to get hit for easily 16. So probably, but let's verify that. What I want you to do to see if there's any loophole that I don't know about in the technicality of that you haven't cashed the check. Maybe there's a technicality. I doubt it, but let's just check and see. Since there's a $16,000 screw up here, maybe you can sidestep it. I doubt it, but let's ask. Go to SmartVestor on DaveRamsey.com. Click on it. Put your zip code in. It'll drop down a series of people called SmartVestor Pros that I recommend for investing. They don't work for me, but they're the people we recommend for investing. They do the stuff the way we teach it. Get in touch with one of them freaking today, okay? Do not delay 1 minute, and get on the phone and talk to them and see if there's anything that they know of that you can do on this to actually still pull it off as a rollover since the check has not been cashed. Can you get in touch with your old company, have them reissue it instead of as a check this time, let it be a rollover direct transfer into a mutual fund IRA, which is what you should have done. And maybe there's a slight chance you can do that since the check hadn't cleared, but I doubt it. I think you're probably hammered with the penalties, but let's check with a professional in the business because I'm not in the business, and they can look at the technicalities and see if you can sidestep this. But otherwise, you're just going to cash the check and you're going to pay the penalties, and basically you cashed your 401k out. That's what you did, and which was really a stupid move. $16,000 worth of stupid, which By the way, I've done a lot of stupid things in my life, so I'm not just picking on you. Josh, I've done dumber things than that. But when I do stupid stuff and I write a check for it, I always put stupid tax on the for column of the check, and that's what this 16 grand is or so here that I think you're going to get hit for. Ouch.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
Patrick is with us. Patrick's in Columbus, Ohio. Hey, Patrick, how are you?
Hey, Dave. Thank you for having me.
Sure. What's up?
Hey, so I paid off my student loans back in 2020. And then from about March 13th to when I finally paid them off, there's about $6,000 in there. And I'm reading that I could potentially ask a refund on those payments. And my thoughthood is with this news coming out, whether it happens, I won't do it if it sounds shady, but is it a possibility that I could get some money since I paid off my student loans, but get the government to pay a portion of it for me?
So here's the thing. The Biden administration has given almost zero details on how this is going to be implemented or the nuances, things like you're talking about. And everybody and his brother has written an opinion piece, including me, now on this whole thing. And so, what we're doing is we're guessing how it's all going to roll out. So that has not been announced by the White House. That was announced by someone in an opinion piece that they think it might happen that way. Yeah. And the details are not out on this. So but I don't know anything because I never thought we'd actually get to the place that we forgave student loans.
Same.
So I'm stupid. I just my ability to I was able to predict that he was going to do something by the end of the year, by the end of the August correctly, but I was not able to predict that he actually is going to do something of substance, which maybe he hadn't yet. We'll see. But so I don't know if this is real. I think that there's no indication from an official that this is real. But what you're proposing, I have seen what you're talking about though. So let's see. What would I do if I were in your shoes? Would I go back and get the money for free? Let me answer it this way. I try to answer questions, what would I do? And that's to be fair. In other words, not to be hypocritical. So here's the thing. I have been against the lottery in the state of Tennessee since it started many, many, many years ago because it is a tax on poor people. The vast majority of the people, the zip codes that raise 80% of the lottery money are poor zip codes. The vast majority of the money going in the lottery, more than 80% of it, is from poor people. And so lower income zip codes. Now, what's the lottery used for in the state of Tennessee? It's used to give each kid $3,000 to $4,000 towards their tuition to go to college. So it's poor people sending middle class and upper class people's kids to college. And so I'm morally against that. And I campaigned against it when the state passed it. My side lost. We've had it for a long time. But when my kids went to college, there was free lottery money available for my kids to go to college. I could have, as a multi-millionaire, accepted, at the time it was $3,000, I think it's more than that now, $3,000 or $4,000 per kid per year towards their tuition. It was available to me. It was legal. It was the program. But I had campaigned against it on the auspices that it was morally wrong, because I don't believe poor people sending rich people's kids to college is right, and taking advantage of it's a tax on the poor. Is what the lottery is, and so I don't believe it's right. So I don't do it now. So when my kids got ready to college, I did not take that money because to me that would be a lack of integrity after I had campaigned against it. So if I were in the situation today, as hardcore as I've been against student loan forgiveness, for me, my family to actually accept student loan forgiveness would be super hypocritical. Agreed?
Agreed.
So I'll leave that on you, and it's not saying you're right or wrong either way. But if you have had strong conversations with your friends over coffee, and you say this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, I don't think it's morally right, then you should not accept it. If you're ambivalent, you're kind of in the middle, I think you're okay morally to accept it.
Yeah,
What do you think?
There's nothing unethical here. If I'm in issues, I'm going, hey, I could
The only thing
use that money.
Yeah, the only thing to be unethical is if you took a stand against it and then took it.
Sure. But to say, hey, I'm going to get this refund, I'm going to apply it to my baby steps, it's going to help me in a financial journey, and this is illegal, there's no loopholes here, I think he should go ahead and do it. And this is coming from studentaid.gov, education department. This is where this news is coming from. So it's a legitimate source, but nothing's actually happened yet. So it's still a little bit of, we don't really know what could happen.
Here's the thing. They did not write this. They did not write this proposal from Biden. Biden sent it to them.
They're saying an announcement related to the
extension. They have not had
extension.
time yet. They're guessing what it might look like, too. And so, no, it's not coming out of the White House. It's coming out of the deep bowels of a bureaucracy, and we'll see if any of that actually makes it to the light of day. If you're ambivalent, kind of in the middle, agnostic to the whole thing, you don't have a stand on it, take the money. If you're all for student loan forgiveness, I would take the money. You should be able to do that without conscience. But if you've been raising a banner like I have for many years that this is wrong, then, or at least it's wrong while you're still making the loans, and then after that we can discuss everything. It's just infuriating. But then you would have to do this. So I didn't take the lottery money. I didn't take the PPP money. Our company could have gotten a big check during PPP, and I'm telling people this is a bad idea. Stay away from this. It's going to turn into a loan. You're stepping up on a trap door. These guys are going to choke you later. You need to stay out of it. And that PPP thing very quietly has ruined some lives. And I'm so glad we didn't take it. But for me to stay out, be on the radio going, it's horrible, and then y'all send me my check,
I'll take one.
Yeah. So
if it's not against your values, go for it. There's nothing unethical about it.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So here's another example. The Titans Stadium came into Nashville many years ago. And like almost every stadium or sports complex that comes in, they ask the city for free taxes, no taxes for years or forever. They ask the city to borrow money and put into the project. Some cases they ask the city to build the project or half of it or whatever. And that's government money, citizens' money, going into a private enterprise, and it's not like NFL owners need money. Hello, okay? But I actually was okay with them doing that, which sounds weird to a guy like me. And the reason is because of what that creates in the overall economy. It's not necessarily the Titans themselves or the sports team itself that's the big deal. It's all the things that it does for the economy. All the other jobs and all the other things that happen in the economic growth that is around it, it's a good deal for the city. The city makes more in increased tax revenue off of the other things than they gave up in the revenue on the deal. So I said, do it, okay? And so when we did this piece of ground and we built this building, we were given some tax breaks because we're a huge employer in the state of Tennessee. I accepted those. And so, that is not incongruent. That is not incongruent.
So people that say, Dave, that's not fair. You take tax credits. What's the difference here?
Yeah.
What do you say to those people?
Well, the difference is, number one, I didn't borrow something and then ask for it to be forgiven after I promised to repay it. There's no value issue on the line, number one. But number two, what I'm saying is I've been consistent on what I've done in private and the stands I've taken public. And that's all we would ask any of you to do. Is whatever you believe, just be that all the time and quit being freaking I don't know what the Gen Z version of two-faced is, but we used to call it two-faced. Quit being two-faced. You're different on Sunday than you are on Monday. Stop it. Why don't you just be like the same all the time? And so consequently, my Christian friends are as angry at me for being not Christian enough as my non-Christian friends are because I'm a Christian. And good God, you just can't win.
You've never been in the business of making everyone happy, Dave. We know that.
Yeah, really?
That's one thing I do know about you.
George.
And we love it.
Well, we welcome to the parade. Horse gate, right? Welcome to the parade. This is The Ramsey Show. Greg's in Oklahoma City. Hi, Greg. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks, Dave. I really appreciate you taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Where to start? I'm 42 years old, and I actually am the CEO of a business. I'm lucky enough to open it 9 years ago, and we're doing pretty well. The problem is I really don't have anything to show for it. and I really need advice on how to save. I have 2 children. I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son. My 16-year-old will be going to college here pretty soon. She's a junior. I'm pretty much scared to death right now. I mean, the problem is we make plenty of money coming in. I have a spouse that has a spending problem, and I've actually had to tuck some money away, just for mortgage. Basically, if it shows up in the bank account, it's like erased to zero. Anytime I deposit a check, it's erased to zero. And that's not the way I was brought up, and that's not the way I run my business. And
So what do you pay taxes? You own this business, right?
I do.
And how much do you make a year?
I make right at $260,000 a year.
Taxable income?
Taxable income.
And you have nothing?
I have a home, I have some cars, but as far as retirement goes, I really don't have much. Mm-hmm. I don't, and it scares me to death. I mean...
What's not much? I mean, you got $10,000 or $100,000 or...
Well, I have about $50,000 cash that you've hidden from your wife. Yes, but and the problem with that is that actually goes to my mortgage, because if the money's in the bank, every time I deposit my paycheck, mm-hmm. which I don't know, it's like $1,800 a week or whatever. It's erased to zero. If I actually left that money in there for that month and went to pay a mortgage, the money wouldn't be there for the mortgage at the end of the month.
Yeah. So what happens to the other $160,000 a year? Because $1,800 a week is less than $100 a year.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
You said you made $260,000, but $1,800 a week is only $100,000.
Well, right. It's $110,000. That's my base salary, but we do get shareholder distributions throughout the year.
And where do those go? Into that same account?
Bonuses, and that money actually goes into the savings a lot. And then some do go into the checking account.
So where's all that gone?
I try to pull the majority of it out.
Where has all of that gone?
It's actually in a deposit box.
How much is in the deposit box?
Right at $50,000.
That's not even close. We're talking about $160 a year.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. The money, it's erased to zero.
Okay, so when you sit and talking to her about this, that your lives are completely out of control and you're spending like you're freaking in Congress, what does she say?
She actually feels really bad about it. She knows that it's wrong. She cries. We've had the come to Jesus talks. I'm going to change. Just give me a cash and allowance. We've tried that.
And how old is she?
She is 43.
And how long have you been married?
We've been together since 94, and we were married in 98. So,
okay. Is she seeing a counselor?
Not for this, but she
needs
does
to.
For depression.
She needs to. Oh, bipolar?
No, it could be. She has not been diagnosed with bipolar.
This is a manic behavior.
It's absolutely insane, because my daughter, luckily, and here's the thing, and this is her thinking, and from what she says, my daughter is very bright, and as a matter of fact, she turned us on to Dave Ramsey.
All right, stop a minute. Just stop. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, we have to decide if your wife is being a doofus or if she has emotional mental issues. And if she's seeing a counselor for legitimate depression, and it's possible she's manic, that would explain this. In which case, you have to treat her as if she's got a mental issue, which she does, and that means she just has no access to money at all. Just take her off the account. Just open a new account. You manage the money, because your wife is broken right now. and you care for her as if she's got a drug addiction, or as if she's got cancer, or as if she's got bipolar. And you take care of her until she walks through the healing process and is able to step back in and make an adult-like emotional contribution to this conversation. But you're asking someone who's broken to carry a load they can't carry when you dump that money into that account.
Right.
So just take it away from her. And it's not to punish her. It's because she can't, if she was doing cocaine, we're not going to supply it.
Right.
Okay, because this is adding to her depression. When she's out of control like that, she wakes up with a depression hangover after this, is more depressed because she's more out of control.
Well, it's, when I get my bank statement, it's Verizon, or not Verizon, but
I don't care.
Amazon.
I don't care. I don't care. What you've been doing is not working. You make $260,000 a year. You have nothing to show for it. There's a big freaking hole in the bucket. Quit using the bucket. Take the bucket away. Just, honey, I love you, and when you need some money, you come to me, and I will give you some money for whatever it is you're working on. But you're off of all accounts until we get your mental illness addressed.
Right.
Because that's where she is, dude.
Yeah, but it's easier said than done.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Sit down with her and your counselor. Sit down with her and her counselor, because you're adding to her depression.
Right.
You're part of her problem.
You're right.
And so the counselor, exactly, the counselor. Well, you're making it worse because she gets more depressed because she feels like a doofus.
Right.
And so you need to sit down with the counselor and just go, baby, I'm taking you off of everything. And if she doesn't like that, let's go see a marriage counselor. And the marriage counselor will tell her the same thing if they got a brain in their head.
Right, exactly. I just feel like she's sabotaging everything that we've worked for.
No, it's because she's sick, buddy.
You're right.
You can't simultaneously treat her like she's got a mental illness and then on the other side come over here and act like she's a petulant teenager. Now, if she's a petulant teenager,
rationally, I understand.
It's not a rational transaction if that's what's going on. And then if it is a rational transaction, then we've just got a maturity princess issue. But that's nothing you've said in this conversation indicates that.
Okay.
So love her enough. Love her well. Take that responsibility off of her. She has no access to money, as if she's doing cocaine, starting today. And the only access she gives is you lovingly hand out little bits, and then you manage this household for the good of your future and your wife's future, called retirement, and the good of your kids' future. You make a ton of money, and you take control of this. You're the CEO of your house, too, my man. You can do this. And if you need some more help, you call me back.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
And so you have to break the cycle. You have to flip this thing on its head and make it behave. You've got to get so fired up and wired up that your broke friends think you've lost your mind. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Up next, we have Seth in New Orleans. Hey, Seth, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. How can we help?
Well, I mean, not to be too long with it, but 2018 rolled around, and Dave came out to a church nearby my house and went and listened to him talk. And, I've been broke and working hard, and decided that I'd follow him and be working hard, not broke. And over the last couple of years, I've worked real hard and put a lot of seeds in the ground. And this holiday had some of my family over, and I have a new property and some new space, and they wound up asking about the mortgage. We're working on some land, and we're asked about the mortgage, and I just kind of said I don't have mortgage on the property. And then, one thing came to another, and it came out that we had a lot more money than my family had ever thought you could have. And it's caused quite a bit of a humdinger around the family. So
have they asked you for money, or are they just upset and envious that you don't have debt and you're not strapped with payments?
Oh yeah, no, all. Yes, sir.
All of it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
So they straight up said, hey, you doing pretty well, boy, aren't you? You got any of that money laying around for us? Like, was it joking or was it pretty serious?
No, I mean, we went out we have a mess of kids, and so we went out one night for something, and the ice cream was there, and I was like, you told my kids grab ice cream, whatever, kids grab ice cream. Well, I ended up getting ice cream for everyone, which isn't a big thing anymore, and, we're like, oh, it must be nice, and then the next night they were saying, we're going out to dinner, and my wife was, only went to dinner, family over, so I was like, just the two of us will go out, and they're like, oh, you got us, you can go too, da-da-da. But no, I do not have you.
So there's assumptions and entitlement now of like, well, he'll cover it because he's doing pretty well, so he should cover it.
Yeah.
And is this your direct parents? Like who's involved here?
Everyone. Yeah, no, everyone asked throughout the course of the 2 weeks after that. They found out about
aunts, uncles, cousins.
Being different. Yes, sir. All the above. Got phone calls and everything.
Goodness gracious.
It's like you won the
People
lottery
coming out
or
of the
something,
woodwork.
but it's taking you.
How much money do you guys actually have?
A lot. I don't know what a lot for everyone is. A lot for what I thought. We, my wife and I we stopped whining and started working, which is kind of our joke to us. And, I don't know, we put some things together, and right now I think we did our net worth at the beginning of the year, and it was about right under $4 million.
Oh, my goodness.
That's great.
That is amazing. How old are you two?
Yeah. I'm 37. We're 37, so.
That's incredible.
And this is mostly your family, not hers.
No, her family doesn't know, and
you're like, they're not going to. We're not telling anybody else.
After this debacle.
Yeah, they're good though. They're all square. They're not my side. They'll be like, oh, good for you.
Is your family local, Seth? Do you guys have like day-to-day interaction with them?
Not so much right now, but yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but they're local, and you guys usually would like kind of do life together. Yeah. You do dinners together. Like they're a part of your rhythm in life.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Seth. It's about to get uncomfortable. How do you feel? Are you like pissed about it, or are you confused with it? Do you feel bad? Like what's your overall emotion?
Well, I was upset the first night, and so I ended up calling everyone together the next night, and I was like, listen, my responsibility is to take care of my wife and my kids, and I'm going to do that. And I told them I would put them through FPU, and I wrote a list of all the books I read. I mean, I picked up the majority of all the books, and the library's free, and so I was like, I'll tell you all the books I read. You can read those, I'll tell you what I did.
They're not interested in learning.
Well, no, it's pretty bold, Seth. The next night, I was expecting us to have like a conversation about setting a boundary. You just did it the day after. So then how do they respond to that? No. They asked for you to pay for their dinner, I think.
Yeah, pretty much, and they're like, well, if you don't have it or you don't want to share, and it was just a lot of guilt. And so I've been wrestling with it for a couple months now, and I was listening to y'all's show, and I was like, I should probably just call and say, hey, y'all, I mean, you guys have money. I don't have a lot of people in my life that have money. So, I have new friends, I guess, but it's hard to say, to your brother looking at you, like, hey, you got $10,000 for a business. Like, I don't have $10,000 for your business. I'm sorry. That's not what I have.
This is not Bank of Seth.
But I'm not there.
That's right.
Well, you've approached this with a lot of tact and wisdom and maturity, which I applaud you for. And the fact that you're even willing to have the hard conversation tells me that there is hope here. But it may take a few of these conversations and enough times to where they get the hint. And you know what? That might hurt these relationships. These people may not want to hang out and go to dinner because they have some own resentment that they, some poison they've been drinking.
Yeah.
And so I don't want that to be a reflection on you, and it's going to be painful in some of these situations, but you have to do what's right for your family, and you can't let this generosity turn into requirement because that takes all of the joy out of it.
Yeah, and Seth, and just so you know, and I know you probably know this, but just to say it out loud, like you've done nothing wrong, right? And I feel like what can happen is they can pin you in a corner where you feel like suddenly if you don't do something, you're doing something wrong because, do you have the means? Yeah, you guys do. But you're an adult and you get to decide what you do, just like what you told them. Your responsibility is to you and your family, and what you do beyond that is up to you. But by you existing with this money, that is not a wrong. You're not in the wrong. And I feel like sometimes you can feel like, oh my gosh, I'm the one that's done something that's not good or not okay. And so just remember that you haven't done anything wrong. And the truth is, and George said it, but it probably, sadly, will create a divide. And I wish that wasn't the case, but I feel like they've proven themselves. After you set a pretty strong boundary and were very honest and clear, they chose to overstep that boundary and ask you to pay for dinner that night. So I think you have to have a realization too, and you probably already have, but you and your wife stick together as a team and just realize, oh my gosh, sadly, they don't have the maturity to handle this part of your life that you brought them into, right? By sharing this information. And that's sad because it may end up causing a divide and stronger boundaries that you're going to have to set.
Yeah. No, I agree. The thing that I kept pushing for was, like, they could do it too, you know? Like, that's what was hard. My heart was, and I'm not trying to withhold from them. I'm trying to, you know, like, I'll walk with you. I'll tell you exactly how I did it. I wrote it all down, you know? I'll keep my budgets in paper, you know? I can tell you how I did it. And yeah, there's a lot of luck and a lot of things, but, you know, we could do it together. Like, I'll help you, you know? And they're just, no, I'm not interested in working. I mean, they used to make fun of me in the beginning when I said, oh yeah, I was going to follow Dave Ramsey plan. They're like, no, don't do that. You know, that's not going to make you any money. I was like, all right. I mean, he seems to like his wife and his life. I want to do that too, you know? Like,
and that was my heart. I was like, they're not interested in learning. Entitlement runs far away from work. That's generally how it goes. And so I love the old quote. I think it's a Maya Angelou quote. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. And if they show their character that this relationship is based on transactions and your forced generosity, then it's not a relationship. And they're choosing to opt out of that relationship if that's how they see you. And so the hardest part about all this is you grappling with the emotions of that. It has nothing to do with them. Yeah. It's you feeling like, really I'm not the bad guy here. Because they're going to gaslight you and go, man, you're evil. I can't believe that. You're so stingy after everything we did for you. Remember when you were 5 and I took you? There's going to be all kinds of things that bubble to the surface now.
Yeah, that's what you pretty much nailed what my dad said. Yeah, 100% hit him right on the head.
Dang.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it was an odd conversation. It's an odd place to be. But, you know, I don't know. I was thinking that maybe the best course would be, you know, bend the knee a little bit and just.
Best course is, flee the country and change your name, but let's not do that, you know?
Go into the witness protection program.
The right course is have the hard conversations as many times as you need to, and then you need to draw the line and say, listen, we've talked about this several times. This is where I stand on it. I love you guys, but our relationship can't be based on transactions.
Yeah, and again, they're choosing this. Like, that you haven't done anything. You've just done the hard work for 5-6 years.
Seth is a good man.
I know, and this is what is being exposed in them, and you can't control them as much as your heart is so good and pure and wanting that. You can't, and I think it's going to continue to create that divide, and you're going to continue not to want to let them into your life, which is so sad with family. So I'm so sorry, Seth. I hope you feel encouraged, though. You're doing good.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. David is on the line. Hi, David. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Excited to talk with you all today.
You too, sir.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I have a side hustle that has turned into something far more lucrative than I thought it could ever be, to be honest with you.
That's great.
And it's making real money.
Wait, help me. What's real money?
I made $30,000 last year with it.
$30,000?
As a side hustle, that's good. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Totally unexpected side hustle. But I cannot tell you where a single one of those $30,000 went. I looked at the reporting over the weekend and I almost threw up. So, yeah, my question is, like, how do I tame this side hustle? Because it's very hand to mouth, my own personal thing. No one watches it. I work and I get paid. I just want to be better with it and actually have some money to look at the end of the year.
What are you doing, dude?
So you might be able to hear it in the background, but I'm actually a bird sitter.
I was going to say, it sounded like animals.
Yeah. She is not calming down, and she will knock it off of me, but here we are. But no, I bird sit for about 100 different parrots in Chicago.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
I'm the number one guy on Google. If you search bird sitting Chicago, I'm the first guy that pops up. So 2023 could be a big year for me. And I, again, just want to make sure I'm not burning the cash as it comes in.
Is it just you? You're the only one bird sitting?
It is just me, yeah. So I have a certification. I've worked with parrots for over half my life, and I'm very, very good with them.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's just me and my Altima driving around taking care of the birds.
Wow. Very cool. Good for you, man. That's fun.
Thank you.
So the easiest way to
fun.
get started on this is just treat it like a business, because it is. And I would just open up a separate checking account, Bird Sitters R Us or whatever it is, right? And just put your name on there, David so-and-so, DBA, doing business as Bird Sitters R Us. And you just do it in your Social Security number. You don't even need a tax ID number to do it. And then throw all of your bird sitting money into that account. And then you can just pull up the register on that account at any point, and you can tell what's going on. You can tell where the money is, right? And then if you pull it out of there to bring it home, quote, unquote, out of the business, you need to set aside a fourth of it for taxes, because as you have discovered, you have $7,500 in taxes due on this, don't you?
Sure do. Yep.
And don't have any money.
Well, that I was smart enough to do, to have it move. The processor that I use will save the taxes for you. So I have that set aside at least, so I'm not facing down Uncle Sam with a frown face.
Good.
I do have another kind of follow-up question. How do you find the discipline? Because I did that. I made a checking account, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to look at the money. And then I'm like, oh, this thing. It just goes. My mom says I'm like a sieve with cash.
Wait a minute. It goes out of the bird account?
Yeah, I just spend it. What are some tips for discipline on that?
Okay, you don't have a budget on your personal account, do you?
I don't have a budget on anything.
Yeah, I know. I could tell.
It sounds like he needs to sit down and keep his money separate. You've got your personal money on one side. You've got your business money on a separate side. And David, it sounds like with your business, you really need to get organized and write down what your outgo is, what your expenses are, right? And how much money that you're bringing in, to find out if you really can, and decide, can I take a payroll? If I can, it's going to be this amount, and I'm going to do it, every month, and really just get organized. It sounds like that's really what you're lacking, because the business sounds like it's making money. It almost sounds like it's making so much money for you that you feel like you can be frivolous, and I think that's a dangerous place to be.
Lazy.
Mm-hmm.
What's your day job pay?
So I make $70K a year.
Okay, so you have $100,000 coming in. How old are you?
33.
And you're broke.
Yes.
Okay, here's your why. You need to get disgusted with how stupid that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is so stupid.
I know.
Ridiculous.
That's a good thing. It's like after COVID, I ate so many donuts that I got disgusted about how fat I got.
Sure.
So, because I ate every donut in a 50-mile. So you have to get disgusted and go, I'm going to change this crap. This is crazy. And, you got to there's a healthy level of disgust that precedes human transformation. Like, I've had it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I don't like this feeling of being this inept. I don't like this taste of regret with $100,000 going through my fingers, and I have no idea where it goes. That taste on my tongue is awful. It's like a bad fruitcake this time of year, right? And so I want to stop that. So now we've got you, and you called here, and so you already knew, right? You knew that. You told me what I just told you back. I didn't tell you anything new. You called him stupid. No, I just said what he's doing is stupid. Okay, so here's the thing. Now you got a why. Because if you keep eating like you've been eating, you're going to keep looking like you've been looking. You keep spending like you've been spending, you're going to keep being broke like you've been broke. You got to change your habits. So we're going to sit down and do a personal budget on where the money's going to go. And then when we move money out of the bird account into the personal account minus tax withholding, then we've got an assignment for it already preset in the personal budget. But the personal budget is just regret avoidance. It's just financial hangover avoidance. Like I drank too much and I feel like crap for 3 days, right? It's the same thing. You got this hangover, and it's the exact same thing. You've been partying, and you're tired of it. It's time. You just said, I'm going to grow up. Good for you. Well done. We're going to help you. Hang on. Send you a copy of the book, The Total Money Makeover, which will walk you through exactly what to do. But you just need to say, I'm worth fixing this because I don't like where I am, so I'm going to change it.